as loud as it gets in the National Football League. The Seahawks won the toss. They defer to kick off. Jason Myers, big hero on Sunday with 6 field goals. This kick is fielded at the 2-yard line. Whittington comes out of the pack, gets up to the 30, still on his feet, and now is taken down just shy of that 30-yard line. 17 seasons in the league, 12 with Detroit, 5 with the Rams, came in 2021, won a Super Bowl, 37 TD passes, not only leads the league, it leads by 8 over Jared Goff. 11 wins as a starter, won 12 back in 2021. He is at the very, very top of his game. Rams with that very potent offense, 40 or more points. There's Davante Adams inactive tonight. In their last 2 games, 40 or more points, 500 or more yards. Kyron Williams is the running back. Nakul is the man in motion. And stumbling forward, Williams turns what would have been about a 2-yard gain into a gain of close to 7. Good 2-headed monster in that backfield with Kyron Williams and Blake Corum this season.
Yeah, you saw a quick shot there, Davante Adams. We talked earlier about him not being in this game. Be interesting to see how Sean McVay attacks without him. We've been much talked about with their 13 personnel, with their 3 tight ends. And there'll be a different ways that they will attack tonight. We'll talk more about that throughout the game.
Put one of those tight ends in at fullback. Hand the ball off here. Williams breaks a tackle and is stopped just a little bit shy of a first down, 3rd and 1. Got away for the moment from Leonard Williams. 3rd and short.
The number one priority tonight for this defense, Mike McDonald knows they've got to be able to win the line of scrimmage and they've got to be able to stop this run game. And here early, interesting that Sean McVay just kind of settling into this game, relying on that offensive line who they have a ton of confidence in, and Kyron Williams to run the football.
That offensive line has come together very nicely as the season has progressed. It's 3rd down and 1. Short drop, quick throw, incomplete. Trying to get it to Nakua. So the Rams, on their first possession, will go for the moment. We say 3 and out, but you never know these days.
Yeah, he's got an alert here. He's going to run this football. If he has to look going back to the backside to make that throw, it's a throw that he typically is able to make to Puka, but does not come up with it, and they're going to go for it here on this first 4th down in their own territory.
They initially brought the kicking ball in, then they took it away. Now they bring the regular ball in. It's 4th down and 1. So big call from the 39-yard line, and indeed they go for it, and indeed they do get it. As Kyron Williams picks up about 3. Lawrence makes the stop, first down, Los Angeles.
Yeah, good job here. Line of scrimmage doing their job, just getting down low, winning that low man wins. Here's a really good look over the top here. Kyron Williams, all 3 of these first 3 carries. DeMarcus Lawrence actually collapses down on it. But I'll tell you, Kyron Williams, I don't know if people really realize the low center of gravity he runs with and the power he runs with for a guy that's 5'9", and 207 pounds.
4th year in the league. Over 1,000 yards already this season. Handed to him again, and he bounces his way for a gain of close to 8. Tackled by Kobe Bryant. 2nd down.
A lot of talk about this 13 personnel, really since going back to the Jacksonville week. For really the last 9 games, they've been in it a lot. And when they did it against Seattle in Week 11, they only threw the ball. They only threw for 4 yards, and it's because of Nick Emanwari, the rookie. He kind of gives them a defensive back who's a guy that can play as an outside linebacker with his skill set at 6'3", 220.
Emanwari is number 3. He puts the pressure on, and the run takes it to the 49-yard line. Williams again, Derek Cole makes the tackle, first down LA.
You know, talking about this 13 personnel, they've been in it every single snap. And a lot of times you think about 13 personnel, historically, you think about short yardage and goal line. Sean McVay likes this 13 because of the skill set of the tight ends. They get defense that show up, get big, and then they'll throw out of it. But here they've been in 13 and they've been so far running the football.
Now Nakua split wide left. Stafford stepping up. Stafford's going to keep it. Stafford's going to slide to a halt at the 43-yard line. 2nd down.
So anytime you hear 13 personnel, the first number is the amount of backs. You have 1 back, and the 3 represents the 3 tight ends. And Sean McVay, since he's been the head coach of the Rams, really has lived in 11, meaning 1 running back, 1 tight end, 3 receivers. They've gotten teams to get into nickel, and then a lot of times they'll run the football over the years. And it's just amazing how they continue to evolve and find little wrinkles to affect defenses.
11 would be the prevailing setup for most teams in the league most of the time. Here's Williams again. He'll take the ball to the 42-yard line. So the Rams' opening drive, it'll be 3rd down and 4.
And we said in the open, this is going to be a line of scrimmage game. In this opening drive, Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford living up to what we kind of expected. Now, this Seahawks defense prides themselves on stopping the run. They're 3rd in the NFL in that area, much improved from where they were a year ago. And Rams are challenging them. Now they get them to 3rd and 4.
8 plays on this drive. 7 of them have been runs. Here's your second pass. Stafford throws. That's caught and then stopped, I think, a little shy of the first down. We'll see whether they give Ferguson, the rookie out of Oregon, forward progress. If it's 4th and 1, they'll be going for it anyway. You know that.
Oh yeah. And there's a look at one of the guys that's going to have to step up tonight for Sean McVay with Devontae Adams down. You're going to see a different group, whether it's the tight ends or some of these receivers. Mumpfield, the rookie, Winnington. That time Ferguson, good solid catch to get him to this 4th and about a half a yard.
Ferguson picked in the 2nd round. They go 3 tights again here. 4th and inches, their second 4th down of this drive. And this time Williams is able to lunge forward. Where will they spot it? Line judge comes in. He appears to be ready to spot it a little bit short. Brad Allen is the referee tonight. Stops the clock. Officials timeout.
We have an officials timeout for a virtual measurement.
All right, we don't see too many of these.
No.
Such a big deal was made of this before the season. And we rarely see it, but here it comes now, a virtual measurement.
And let's take a look, give you an idea of where that ball is when he goes down. Boy, that is so close. Nwosu makes the play. Job is able to clean it up on the back end.
Waiting to set up the virtual. Index card would be faster, but what do I know? Here we go. Did he make it? Nope. Not even that close. 1 feet 3 inches. Turn it over on downs. So the Rams' 10-play drive comes up empty. And the Seahawks and Darnold will go to work when we come back. Wait, Sam Darnold would love to forget. Got intercepted 4 times and still had a chance to win the game. So here he goes with the Seattle offense from the 38-yard line. Going to start play action on the run. Pass to the outside. Fighting his way for a gain of 8 is A.J. Barner. Tackled by Cam Curl. 2nd and 2 for Darnold. Last year, of course, at Minnesota, had a great regular season. Second quarterback to win 10 or more games in 2 straight years for 2 different teams. Vikings, Seahawks. You didn't know what the future held at the end of last year with J.J. McCarthy out all last season. But Seattle made the deal for him after they parted ways with Geno Smith, who went to Vegas. 2nd and 2 worked out pretty well for Sam Darnold. Walker to the outside, and Walker very close to picking up the first down.
You know, I think Sam Darnold fits very, very well with Clint Kubiak coming over. He was in New Orleans last year as the offensive coordinator. Mike McDonald brings him in, and they really changed their identity. We talked about more physicality. They have the most amount of runs in the entire league, and it's all based on trying to set up Sam Darnold with play-action pass.
On first down, from the 48-yard line, play action. He's going to come back the other way. Taken by Walker. Lots of room to roam inside the 30. Gets a couple of blocks. He'll get inside the 10. He'll set up a first down and goal. Gray Zabel, left guard rookie out of North Dakota State, paving the way. Great block, 46-yard gain.
And what a call here by Clint Kubiak. Watch the entire defense flow here. We just talked about play action and Sam Darnold and how this offense is really based on running to set up play action. Here's a boot screen throwback screen, and look at the lineman downfield. That's the rookie, Zabel, downfield making blocks. He's saying, follow me to the promised land. Get behind me, and I'm going to take you to the end zone. Gets a nice block there on 53, Landman. Almost took that to the house.
Now Charbonnet comes in as the running back. And they toss it here to Cooper Kupp, a play they worked on a lot in practice yesterday, off on the side. Well, that didn't work. Put that one back into the back of the playbook, 2nd and goal.
Yeah, it's great to see 10 get his hands on the football. And also cool, you and I, when we first got here, we're looking down on the field, and there's just nobody in the stands, and Cooper Kupp's down there just hanging out, catching up with some of the Rams players, and I'm sure he feels good getting his hands on the football here early.
What a year he had in 21, won the Triple Crown, most catches, most receiving yards, most touchdowns, and capped it off, of course, he was the Super Bowl MVP. 2nd down and goal. Charbonnet into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Didn't take long, 241, 5 plays. Of course, the big one, the 46-yarder. Lots of yak yards after the catch for Walker, and then they go to take the lead.
There's the rookie again, the left guard, Zabel. Watch this block right here, sustaining it against Kobe Turner, and then good tough running, getting downhill by Charbonnet to get into the end zone. That's a great sign for Seattle. Remember, week 11, 1 of 4 in the red zone. This time, the opening drive, they're able to finish it off.
Jason Myers, perfect for extra points this season. There's number 43 in a row. 7:09 to go, opening frame at Lumen Field in Seattle. Seahawks on top, 7-0. Pretty windy though. Jason Myers to kick off. And that will be hauled in and then dropped at the 3-yard line by Ronnie Rivers. And he gets planted at the 24-yard line. For the Rams this week, well, they beat Detroit. And then Sean McVay and Veronica McVay were hoping to have their baby between the Detroit game and this game, and they did.
Yeah.
So Sean went home, took his wife to the hospital. She gave birth at 6 o'clock on Monday morning. So here's a man working with almost no sleep.
Oh, my gosh. The week that he had, even when we talked to him, what was it? I think on Tuesday, he was just kind of getting his bearings with the week that he had. But most important thing, mom and baby are healthy and everybody's in a great spot.
Number 2 for the McVays. From the 24-yard line, Stafford rolls, throws, caught. Nakua close to a first down before he is run out of bounds.
They kind of taking a page out of Clint Kubiak's playbook there with that same 13 personnel. Remember, they went away from that look with the one running back and the 3 tight ends in week 11 because they weren't having a lot of success. And here they've really opened up the game, pretty much living it.
2nd and 1. Blake Corum is now the running back. And he takes it out to the 38. Much like Chicago and Detroit, they got a pair of backs who are both terrific.
Yeah, and they're not different. You know, in Detroit's case, Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery are very different in their skill set. Here with Kyron Williams and Blake Corum, they're pretty similar. Maybe a little bit different, but the playbook doesn't change much at all, whether 23 or 22 is in there. The greatest thing is Kyron Williams had too much wear and tear a year ago, so Blake Corum coming on has helped him a lot to stay fresh.
They got them both in now. Corum is flanked out. Stafford throws. That is caught along the sideline by Davis Allen. One of those 3 tight ends who are seeing so much action. Big gainer there. First down.
This is a bust here, and I'm surprised there wasn't a lot of movement. You got one corner here, safety moves here, and they just lose it. Again, you got 2 tight ends. You see that Joe goes in with the inside there, and it opens up to Davis Allen. Good job there, the eyes. Look at Matthew Stafford. He was surprised as much as anybody. He looked to the inside to Parkinson, and then he found the wide open Davis Allen for the big game.
27-yard pickup. Corum. And he'll thread his way, keeps those legs churning, and turns what might have been a 1 or 2 yard gain into a 5-yard gain.
You know, the one thing about Corum is, and they're trying to find a way to get him, he's averaging 5.5 yards a carry, which is tremendous, and it has a lot to do with his vision and his acceleration he's liable to take that ball anywhere. He does a great job of being patient and then finds the space, and he gets north and south in a hurry.
Second year out of Michigan. Number 3 draft choice last season. Second down and 5. Off the fake, rolling left, under pressure, slings it to Allen, but he can't handle it. That time he was under pressure. He put on Stafford, had to get it away sidearm, 3rd and 5.
You'd always hear about Matthew Stafford changing his arm angle and how it comes in handy. A lot of guys do this. He basically goes underneath. That time, Mafe, to be able to get that ball thrown, just unable to. I think Allen's thinking about running with the football instead of just catching it.
3rd down and 5. Go empty here. Stack receivers, left side and right side. Extra pressure put on. Lost that pass, incomplete. Coverage is perfect. Goes for Kanate Mumfield, a rookie out of Pittsburgh, covered there by Josh Jobe. 4th and 5.
You know, in plus territory, even though it's 4th and 5, he looks like he's going to go for this. What a job there by Mike McDonald and his defense, kind of waiting. Eamon Laurie disguised that, waited to the last second, and that's what that blitz forced Stafford to get that ball out of his hands.
Passing up a 48-yard field goal attempt. Crowd roaring, pressure put on, pass is thrown, and it's contested and caught. And that is nothing new, but a flag is thrown first of the game. Puka Nacua, the king of contested catches this season. But Brad Allen will tell us the rest of the story.
I think the defense may have been lined up in a neutral zone there.
Offside. Defense number 0 moved into the neutral zone prior to the snap. The penalty is declined as a result of the play. Is a first down, Los Angeles.
Gain of 8.
And nobody uses those late motions more than Sean McVay. What a job here, just creating a little bit of space, creating that matchup. Now he's got the matchup that he wants. We saw this last week. You love with the hands, being able to reach out away from his body in front of the defender and being able to bring that ball somehow back to him. They're now 2 or 3 on 4th down. Saw that last week a couple times against Detroit. The best in the league at contested catches.
There's some clock issues. Reason for the stoppage. Corum stays in at running back. Again rolling. Stafford throwing on the run, wide open. That's caught and taken to the 4-yard line by Mumfield, the rookie out of Pittsburgh, picked in the 7th round. And of course, he'll get to see a lot more action now with Adams out.
Yeah, no question about it. Watch the defense react to the action away. And he's going to boot. This is what you always got to be aware of. Look at the open receivers. He's got a couple different options there until he throws it to Mumfield. Defense really aggressive, getting downhill, and you just got to have that eye discipline against that play action look against that 13 personnel.
Rams have 12 touchdown passes to tight ends this season. Keep it on the ground here, nothing happening. Stuffed in the middle is Blake Corum, 2nd and goal.
Al, Byron Murphy is really taking some steps. There's Davante Adams again, who is out. We've seen the tight ends that have stepped up tonight, but this is the area where Davante Adams takes over. Now, he and Matthew Stafford have built such a relationship everywhere on the field, but especially when they get down inside that 10-yard line, down to the 5-yard line. He'll just throw the fade up to him. What's the answer now with 17 on the sideline?
He's built something with the tight end Parkinson. Let's see where he goes here. He keeps it on the ground, and that's a loss of a yard or 2 as Devin Witherspoon comes up to stop him. 3rd down and goal from the 6.
And this defensive line is so good. I was just talking about Byron Murphy in his 2nd year out of Texas, the steps that he has made. Plays with relentless effort. That was Leonard Williams, 99. You could argue this is the best defensive line. Both these teams pride themselves on having the best defensive line, and I think there's a little bit of pride on the line tonight and see who's going to be playing better.
3rd down goal. Go empty here. Throw is caught at the goal line and stopped just short is Nakua. Couldn't get in. Was spotted inside the 1. Even Yori and Job both make the stop. Sean wants a closer look. Fourth and go. Got a little skirmish here going on as well. Nothing new in that regard, and an injured Ram.
Well, third down, we talked about Devontae Adams out. Chances are you're going to go to Puka Nakua. They're bracketing him. They're trying to get the safety over to help. Eamon Mori does come over to keep him out of the end zone, but a good job of getting that one in there to give them a chance here on this 4th and short to see if they go for it when we get back.
Injury timeout. That's the right guard, Kevin Dotson. He's the man who's hurt. Hobbles off. Justin Dedich comes in, second-year man, taking his spot at guard. They're going for it on 4th down and goal from inside the 1. Stafford throwing off balance, and it's caught in the back of the end zone. They're going to say a juggle. Terrence Ferguson, you got a flag here. Ferguson juggled and got it in, but what's the flag?
It's got to be a legal man downfield. Yeah, he pulled that. The line thought he's running the football, but I think that's got to be an illegal man downfield. It's Dedich who just came into the game.
Oh, boy. It's quite a debut. Well, so the injury to Dotson.
An eligible player downfield. Offense number 67. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Yeah, that's confirmed. Meanwhile, the Rams had been 2 for 3 on 4th down. Here's the juggling grab again, but the ball will come back now to the 5-yard line. 4th and goal, and the Rams will try for 3. Harrison Mevis, they picked him up in the middle of the season. He's done a great job. 5 out of 5 field goals, perfect on extra points. They had problems early in the season, seem to have those rectified. So a guy at 5'11" and 243 looks more like a lineman than a kicker. Will kick it out of the hold of Ethan Evans. And he remains perfect with 1:43 to go in the quarter. 7-3, Seattle on top. We're back in 30 seconds. Terry, not often do you see illegal man downfield from the half-yard line. What happened here?
You don't, and this really isn't a foul. He blocks a defensive line on line, and he can drive in as far as he wants. He comes off contact, and the defender actually pushes him by him and forces him beyond that yard. So it really isn't a foul for him being illegally downfield because of that action.
And yeah, I think Sean McVay agrees with you 1,000%. So does Stafford. 7-3. Seattle will get the ball. That kick will go into the end zone and be brought back out to the 35-yard line. It's so funny how these two teams each started out 3-2. They had the same record after week 5, and now they each won 8 out of 9. Neither of these teams has lost a game by more than 1 score.
Yeah, very, very, very similar. Not only with their records and what they've done this year, but also the way they play. You know, they really pride themselves on the defense and the defensive line and the physicality on the offense. Yeah, there's Sean getting his team. He's proud of what they've done here and the way they come in very aggressive. They've already gone for it 4 times on 4th down. Of course, the last one they ended up taking off the board because of the penalty.
4 times in the first quarter. Working his way for a gain of 9 that time is Zach Charbonnet, 3rd-year man out of UCLA. Robbie Oots leads the way.
What a block there in the inside by Oots. Like you said, able to get up to that 2nd level. There's Barner coming over to take care of the edge. There's the block right there on Landman. And then good, tough running by Charbonnet. Much like the Rams, they use 2 backs, and their backs are different in their running style.
2nd and 1. Darnold, pressure, throws, drop. That's the tight end, Barner, who loves to trash talk, and the Rams might be sending him a couple of messages right now.
Yeah, Jared Verse told us that cannot wait to see 88 because those two are going to go after each other. I think we've already seen that tonight. There's Clint Kubiak, and His attack so far is to just try to slow down Chris Shula in this defense. A lot of misdirection, whether it's bootleg or play action. We saw the boot throwback screen that went out and picked up some big yards. Just anything they can do to slow down this aggressive defense.
3rd down 2. 4-man rush, quick throw, and incomplete. And Forbes had designs on intercepting that baby intended for Jackson Smith and Jigba.
He really drove down on that and almost anticipating that obviously on 3rd and short they're going to make this throw. But watch how quickly he drives down, and watch how right there he's able to just change direction. And with those long arms, he's able to affect that potentially. And like you said, came very close to maybe stepping out in front of it. But good job with that left hand to be able to knock that ball away.
Bring in the punt group. Mike McDonald does not go for it very often on 4th down. So in a game where you saw the Rams already go 4 times on 4th down, on 4th and 1, they line up the punt. This is Michael Dixon. Fair catch call for made. 12-yard line there by Xavier Smith. 50.
In Seattle, they love the Seahawks. They love University of Washington. It's just a great football town.
Yep. Mariners too.
Yep.
And came close to getting to their first World Series. Here's Stafford going deep downfield, caught. There's Nakua. Nakua into Seattle territory. Look at him go to the 32-yard line. Love finally takes him down. Puka Nakua can line up inside, outside, block, doesn't matter. Contested catches, you name it.
And there's the late motion again to create the space for the inside cut right there. Nice throw, goes up and over the linebacker, Ernest Jones. And like you say, Al, he's not only a guy that can make plays downfield, he can do it all. He's known for everything, whether it's blocking, just a great feel, the instincts, the physicality. How about the yards after the catch? Not just with the speed, but the attitude along with it.
54 yards. Now on the ground, breaking 1 tackle and stopped at the 31. That'll take us to the end of the quarter. Kyron Williams with a pickup here. It'll be 2nd down and 8 when we come back to Seattle on this Thursday night with the Seahawks 7 and the Rams 3. End of 1. Arrowhead. Meanwhile, 2nd down and 8 as Stafford retreats, has time, throws, and overthrows Nakua, who had gotten free down the sideline, incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 8.
Boy, what a route. Little stutter and go on Josh Jobe. Got the matchup that they wanted. Been mixing up some different personnel groups on this drive and gone with 1 back and 2 tight ends at 12 look. And boy, that is exactly what Matthew Stafford would love to have. A matchup against Josh Jobe. They hit that 99 out of 100 times. The Seahawks catch a break there.
Starts to rain, light rain. 3rd and 8. Rams are 0 for 4 on 3rd down. Now they're 1 for 5. And this time they go to Jordan Whittington, 2nd-year guy out of Texas.
You
picks up the 1st down.
Yeah, you got a late blitz here from Witherspoon, and a good job of being able to pick that up by Kyron Williams. You see the blitz coming out here to your left end, and watch 23 step in. Good job. Give him time. Going right over the middle, right over those linebackers. Been attacking that area all year and do a good job of it here. Boy, Matthew Stafford threw for 130 yards in Week 11 against this Seattle defense. They didn't have a lot of snaps. He threw for 123 in the first quarter alone.
And 142 now after that last play. On the ground, Williams threads his way to the 8-yard line. We go to Kaylee.
Well, guys, Rams right guard Kevin Dotson has injured his left ankle. His return is questionable. He's back in the locker room now. After 5 minutes in the x-ray room, you could see the trainer there stabilizing that left ankle. He didn't look like he wanted to put any weight on it as he hopped to get onto that card.
No, never a good sign, obviously. And Dedich is there. He comes in for him. He'll take over that spot.
Sean McVay felt that with he and Avila, the 2 guards, is a tandem, maybe playing as well as any guards in the entire NFL. So that's a big loss.
Come up in a tight formation here. Hand the ball off on the ground. And it'll make it about 3rd and 1.5 yards as Williams takes it to the 5-yard line.
Tyler Higbee is not in. Obviously, he is out, injured. And it's been interesting to see how he's gone to this 13 personnel, because Colby Parkinson, Davis Allen, and the rookie Terrace Ferguson all have shown the ability not just to win the point of attack, but especially get involved in the passing game. And down here, without Devontae Adams, they become big factors.
3rd down 2. Allen in motion. Rolling, throwing, low, and incomplete. So it's 4th and 2. They've already gone for it 4 times on 4th down.
And no hesitation at all from Sean McVay. He's like, let's roll. You know, I think he understands, obviously, what's at stake. He has an aggressive approach when it comes to these 4th downs. How great is this to watch Sean McVay and Mike McDonald going head-to-head with so much on the line here in week 16.
It's great. The whole thing is great. Each team 11 and 3. Winner controls their path to the number 1 seed, which is huge. You get the bye week, you get home games only on the way to the Super Bowl. 4th and 2, and the play clock goes to 0. And they
delay a game.
Wow.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Yep, just trying to draw him off. Here we are talking about it. There's Sean McVay. He's going to go again. And I think he went fast to make them think, of course, it's Sean McVay. He's going to go. Matthew tried to pull him off and just take the delay a game and have to settle for 3.
Still surprised they didn't go for it,
Me
though.
too.
Yeah, but
Me too.
very much so.
Yeah.
Worst thing happens, you make Seattle drive over 90 yards. So here is Mevis. Went to Missouri. So Stan Kroenke, the owner, he loves his Missouri guys. He was thrilled when they signed this guy. And that kick is perfect.
Remember, red zone. Who's scoring touchdowns and who's kicking field goals? It's going to be a one-possession game.
For sure. That's Matthews' look. We're not going for it? 7-6. /NFL. So raining a little harder now. Off and on. Kickoff here. Will go into the end zone, and we go to Caleb.
He knows Darnold has a fire in him for this one.
Yeah, there's John Schneider, the general manager who brought him in after they parted ways with Geno Smith. He got a false start by the right guard here. Anthony Bradford.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense, number 75. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
You know, you forget him. Sam Darnold, 2nd quarterback pick back in 18. Number 3 overall pick. Didn't work with the Jets. Didn't work with Carolina. Worked with Minnesota, though.
Yeah, it worked with Minnesota. Opened up the opportunity to get out here to Seattle, and he's fit in perfectly. I just personally don't buy he can't win the big game. This guy's played in a lot of big games. His career didn't start off the way he wanted. Listen, quarterbacks are as good or as bad as the people around them. And 9 sacks, what are you going to do? So it's a collective effort.
Well, right now he's trying to run for a little bit of yardage, and Jared Verse, the defensive rookie of the year last year, makes the tackle here at 2nd and 14.
Yeah, and I think, you know, he has a feel for this offense, much like he did last year. I think he fits perfectly in what Clint Kubiak's doing with this, you know, under center, downhill running game to set him up where he's comfortable and in rhythm with the play action. Where they get in trouble is like this. They get behind the sticks. They get into obvious passing situations. He gets back in that shotgun. That's where Chris Shula, the defensive coordinator from the Rams, that's where he wants him to be.
Darnold has started 3 for 5. 2nd and 14. Hangs in the pocket. Now he's going to run with it, but not far again. And this time it's Nate Landman. What a pickup he was. Played with Atlanta last year. Rams brought him in. He's been terrific. 3rd and long.
Yeah, you talk to Chris Shula, Sean McVay, the GM, Les Snead. Everybody talks about Nate Landman and how they needed an alpha in that room. And he is. Watch 53. He comes back tight end leaks out, and then the instincts to be able to make that play just on the fly out in space against Darnold, who's a pretty good athlete and able to run away. But I think it's more the intangibles of what he brings to this defense that's really made a difference.
3rd down and 15. Quick flip here to Walker, who had that long run before. Yards after contact this time decent, but well shy of the 1st down, 4th down. Crowd not appreciative of the call.
And Anthony Bradford's false start is what put them behind the sticks. If they're going to have success tonight, this is an offense that needs to be able to run the ball, set up play action, and stay on schedule. And one thing he's doing better is protecting the ball. Throw it away if you have to, punt the ball if you have to with the defense that they have. You just don't want him to turn the ball over the way he did in Week 11 with those 4 interceptions.
Michael Dixon to punt into the prevailing wind at the moment. Xavier Smith backs up, fields at the 6-yard line, tries to get around the corner, stumbles, good run back here, and then takes it all the way out to the 39-yard line. Looked like he might be stopped back around the 10-yard line. Turns into a good run back as Stafford is ready to take over on the next drive with 10:24 to the half. 7-6. This game controls their fate in terms of getting that number 1 seed. That's how important it is. From the 38-yard line on first down, through the middle, exploiting that hole and stopped the yard shy of the first down is Blake Corum. Let's take a look right now at Next Gen Stats powered by AWS. The Rams with a win tonight, 89% chance. With a loss, 23. The Seahawks with a win, 52 to be the number 1 seed, 2% with a loss.
And 49ers are pulling for the Seahawks tonight because they have him on their schedule. I think Kyle Shanahan, he's done so many great things in San Francisco. You could argue this is the best year that he's had coaching because of all the adversity they've had, and still sitting there at 10-4.
Amazing with all the injuries. Beginning in like Week 1, Blake Corum picks up the first down here.
Going back to that ground game where really this game started, they were doing a great job of, as you would expect from Sean McVay, mixing in their personnel groupings, mixing in the formations, attacking on the ground, getting big and physical, spreading them out, trying to stretch them horizontally, try to create those vertical shots to Puka Nacua. Remember, they don't have Devontae Adams, which usually defenses have to cheat their defense towards he and 12.
Rams already 203 total yards, and that's a 4-yard pickup here for Corum.
Yeah, so this 13 personnel, again, 1 running back and the 3 tight ends, something they've done since Week 9. It's usually a short yardage kind of look, but with Sean McVay, they've really experimented. You can see with the tight end skill set, they're throwing the football a lot, trying to find matchups where they can get these guys out in space, a lot of boots, a lot of play action, a lot of misdirection. But I think it affects the eyes. It makes his defense have to slow down and communicate, make sure everybody's on the same page.
31 plays to 11. 2nd and 7. Pass is caught. Tackle made. 2 yards shy of the first down. Witherspoon takes Kyron Williams to the ground with 8:25 to go in the half.
What a different feel, and every game is always different. But in the first matchup, just 5 weeks ago, it was Seattle controlling the time of possession and keeping Matthew Stafford on the sideline, and really played well enough to win, except they couldn't score in the red zone, and of course they had the turnovers. Tonight, it's been Stafford and McVay kind of controlling things with this run game.
Very much so. 3rd and 2. Keep it on the ground. Get that first down. To the 36-yard line goes Kyron Williams. And the Rams have 500 plus yards in each of their last 2 games, and they're on that pace right now, 215 to this point.
Yeah, watch the middle here. You get a double team here with Shelton, Avila there, kind of handling. Keep in mind, this is one of the best defensive lines, if not the best defensive line. And they continue to say, hey, guys, we're running right at you. Deal with it. Can you stop us? And just wearing down this defensive front. And as this game goes on in the 3rd and 4th quarter, those are big plays.
34th play for the Rams, upcoming against 11 for Seattle. The ground again. Big hole there. 9-yard pickup before they take Corum down. Julian Love makes that stop.
I just can't think. You and I, our first game was a practice game. It was in 2022, after the year you and Chris called the Super Bowl in 21. Witt had retired. Their offensive line was in shambles. They didn't know what they were going to do. They were trying to find anybody and everybody to try to help put an offensive line together. And what Les Snead and Sean McVay have done from 22 to 25, that line goes from being an Achilles heel to now a strength, is astonishing.
Rebuilt the defense as well. 2nd and 1 to the outside again. tackle made, but it's a first down. And we talked about it a bunch of times because we did the game in 22. Sean McVay was, I don't want to say depressed, but he was upset. He's going, oh, you know, you win a Super Bowl. And then Baker Mayfield came to town for 48 hours. And that changed a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it did.
Yep.
And it changed Baker Mayfield's life, and I think it created some juice for Les Snead and his team. And from that point on, they really have not looked back, adding pieces. Veteran offense, young defense, really works well together.
Yeah, you saw Les Snead in the same box with Stan Kroenke, the owner of the team. Stafford protected well. That's caught by Williams. Dragged down at the 20-yard line by Eamon Worry. Makes it 2nd and 5.
Seattle against Phillip Rivers, which, by the way, congrats to Phillip. I mean, it was amazing to see him come back after not playing for so long. Excited to see him play this weekend on Monday night. But Seattle allowed 222 yards in that game against Indy and Phillip Rivers. Tonight, 231 yards in just the first 4 drives against Stafford and his Rams offense.
Yeah, Rivers worked his magic in this ballpark last Sunday. 2nd and 4. Stafford throws. That's caught inside the 10. It'll make it 1st and goal as Mumpfield makes that grab with 5 minutes to go in the opening half.
Yeah, it's his 2nd catch of the night. We talked about at the outset, there's going to have to be other guys going to have to step up in 15 who Mike LaFleur and Sean McVay will tell you he's kind of gotten under the wing of Davante Adams. Davante Adams looks at him almost as a rookie, as a little brother, doing everything he can to help him understand. There he is standing right next to him. Great to see that leadership there from Davante Adams.
7 catches for Mumpfield this season. Had a touchdown against Jacksonville over in London. 1st and goal, 4.5 to play in the half. Williams is the back. Williams gets the ball, and Williams burrows his way to the 3-yard line. 2nd and goal.
Again, the theme in the first game was Seattle could have won the game. They could not finish in the red zone. Tonight, so far, it's been Matthew Stafford moving the ball up and down the field, not finishing in the red zone. 0 for 2 so far. Can they finish here with their 3rd opportunity?
They've been run heavy thus far, 38 plays, 22 of them on the ground for 85 rushing yards. 2nd and goal. Stafford throwing, caught into the end zone. Goes Terrence Ferguson, the rookie out of Oregon, their number 2 pick, and the Rams take the lead.
Yeah, the rookie, Eamon Worry, is a very, very talented player, but he got caught with his eyes in the backfield, and I think looking maybe at Puka. Here he is right here. Watch the slow reaction to the 18 who's going to release out there. See how slow he was to react? He's either looking into the backfield on that play action, or he's waiting to see which way Puka Nacua is going to go. Whatever the case, good job by Ferguson leaking outside, out-leveraging him, and of course Matthew Stafford finds him for the touchdown.
Mevis now for the extra point, and that is good with 3:43 to go in the opening half. In a huge game in Seattle on this Thursday night, with the Rams on top now, 13-7.
The Ivories there.
Look at him. There he is.
Soft hands for the big fella.
Yep. We'll see him very shortly because Seattle's going to get the ball at the 35-yard line. And there's our man, number 91.
Think about his career. He walked on at Richmond. That's where his career started before he ended up going to Wake Forest. And, with Aaron Donald stepping down, he's kind of become the guy as far as the leadership. But you bring Poona Ford in, the entire group that they have across the entire front, Byron Young, Verse, Fisk. But I think Poona Ford coming in has really solidified this front, especially when it comes to defending the run.
And don't forget the linebacker Landman coming in. He's their leading tackler right now. Charbonnet is the back. Charbonnet will find it hard to pick up 2 yards as he crosses the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 9.
Chris Shula, I feel like, is a rising star. Of course, the grandson of Don Shula. Dave Shula is his father, who is obviously a very accomplished coach himself. And, one of the things about him is he's got that same energy that Sean McVay has. You talk to him, he's been with him since they were in college at Miami of Ohio, and he's done an amazing job of this defense growing after Aaron Donald had to step down after that 23 season.
Roommates at Miami. 2nd and 8. Darnold under pressure. Darnold gets sacked. 25-yard line. There's the man. There's the conductor leading the orchestra.
Tickling the ivories, and here he's getting after Sam Darnold. What a matchup here against a rookie. Zabel is very, very talented. He is off balance, kind of gets out in front, body weight over top of his toes. It's exactly what 91 wanted to see. Turner is so quick. He's got 6.5 sacks now in the year. Like I said, kind of plays with a chip on his shoulder and has a great burst. That time used his hands to get around the rookie.
Yeah, cue the percussion section. 3rd down and 16. Coming up on the 2-minute warning. Stay on the ground. And Walker with the crowd booing. They hated the call, and now they love the call. So 3rd and 16. They were boo. Oh, what a call. 17
Great
yards.
call, Coach.
Yep, that takes us to the 2-minute warning.
Had all of the way.
Yeah, right. No doubt. 13-7 Rams. Come on. From the 45-yard line with 2 minutes to go in the half, to the outside goes Walker and gets to the 50 and tackled there by Durant.
You and I were talking at the break. JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba, 1 target, 0 receptions. And you're talking about the guy that leads the NFL with over 1,500 yards receiving, and they've done such a great job this year. He's, most of last couple of years, more of a slot guy. In this offense with Clint Kubiak, they're moving him all over the place, but Rams have taken him away.
Yeah, well, they haven't had the ball. 3 of 5 is Darnold. On the ground again, and coming close to picking up the first down is Walker. The crowd wants to see him air it out at some point. And that will be a 3rd and short. They come quickly to the line. Darnold under center. Darnold with the quarterback sneak. Moves the sticks. First down, 43-yard line.
Just been watching how the Rams have defended him, and they haven't had a lot of opportunities, but they've been really trying to run the football again to set up their play action. Jackson Smith and Jigba, whether it's Forbes on him, Durant, there's usually help on the inside. They have safety helping. You have linebackers if he works to the inside. So I don't think the Rams fear. Look at this. Corner comes up. It's almost like a trap coverage. I don't think they fear at this point Cooper Kupp. I don't think they fear A.J. Barner. I don't think Shaheed's only been out there for about 6 snaps. So if he's going to be taken away with a couple guys with extra coverage, someone else is going to have to make a play in the passing game.
They give him a first down. Meanwhile, the only pass of note that's been completed of the 3 was to Walker. Most of those yards after the catch, leading to the first touchdown. Got 46 yards. Does he go 11's way now? 66 seconds to halftime. Nope, going to keep it on the ground. Charbonnet goes nowhere. They had taken a timeout. They have 2. That's Verse making the tackle. And
the Rams are going to call that timeout.
Yeah, exactly. 2nd down, 2nd and 9.
And we see this more and more in the current game of the NFL with coaches and quarterbacks and field goal kicking. It's smart at the end of the half to try to use those timeouts to preserve the clock. Mike McDonald did that last week in their game against Indy.
A lot depends on that situation. 2nd and 3, you're probably not calling a timeout.
Right.
2nd and 9, you're calling a timeout.
Absolutely.
So there were only 5 passes in almost 30 minutes of action.
And hasn't completed a pass beyond 10 yards with a ball in the air. Everything when he is throwing it is underneath. Remember, 4 interceptions in their first matchup in week 11 that cost them the game. So they're being a little bit conservative, not a little bit, a lot conservative here in this first half, just being cautious with their approach.
The only wide receiver who's caught a pass tonight is Kupp. 1 for 1 yard. Darnold chased. Darnold has a lot of room. He got a flag here, and then he gets pushed into the Rams bench. Pretty penalty free first half. Only 2 against the Rams, 1 against Seattle until Brad Allen updates us here.
Holding. Defense. Penalty. Automatic. First down.
Yeah, Josh Wallace.
Wallace, who's never played in that slot position, has had to step up with Quentin Lake down, and there it is right there against Shaheed, just grabbing onto his arm 10, 15 yards downfield. So they'll get a new set of downs, 51 seconds, still have their 2 timeouts.
And they get the ball to start the second half. Myers staying loose. First down from the 34-yard line. 4-man rush. Pass caught. And it's fumbled, and it's going to wind up at the 1-yard line. Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp fumbles. Rams recover. Kobe Durant runs it down.
And a big hit from Cam Curl. We just talked about as the defense cheats to the other side towards Jackson Smith and Jigba, it creates space and opportunities. Nice throw, good catch. The hit right there by 3 dislodged the football away from Cooper Kupp. Should mention the sure-handed Cooper Kupp, but that hit right there, right on the ball, popped it loose.
So Kupp against his former team. First year here in Seattle, comes home and away from Yakima, Washington. Gives it away here. They're going to spot the ball. The officials are talking about where to spot it. And it looks like they're going to spot it at the 1-yard line.
Tough to kneel with 43 seconds if you're trying to get out of here with a 6-point lead. I'm sure he is just heartbroken. A guy that does it the right way, everything that it's really his approach as a Ram, now as a Seahawk. You can see the 12 fumbles lost this season, the most in the NFL. Turnovers again cost him in that first matchup against the Rams with the 4.
Replay assist is now going to call it a touchback. So instead of the 1, the danger zone when you're on offense at this point, they're going to take it to the 20. So leading the league in fumbles are Seattle. That's Kupp's first, though, individually.
Terry, what do you see there?
So what matters is when he gets control of the football. If it's in the field of play, then his momentum takes him into the end zone. But it appears that he doesn't get control until the ball is over the goal line, making it a touchback.
Really good look at it here, Terry. Of course, we're looking at it frame by frame. And I'm with you, Terry. I don't know if he got complete control.
Crowd hates it, but I think they got the call right. Meanwhile, the Rams now, what are they going to do? They got 2 timeouts. You got 43 seconds. Plenty of time to take a couple of shots.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, their special teams were not great early in the year. They've made some tweaks. New snapper, new kicker. It's a lot better second half of the season.
Now you got timeout called by Seattle.
Prior to the snap. Charge timeout. Seattle, their second. It will be 30 seconds.
Well, what a difference between where that ball is placed. Obviously, not only is it tough for Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford to get out of there, you know, on the 1-yard line, but now you got a shot to maybe try to get 3 points out of the whole deal. Remember, Matthew Stafford said, hey guys, let's try to steal 3 last week.
Yep.
In a game against Detroit. Kind of got him back into the game.
Once again, what's at stake? Winner controls the path to the NFC's #1 seed. Either team wins out. They're #1. Seahawks clinch a playoff berth with a win. There are 6 teams, believe it or not, that still are in contention for that 1 seed, including Philadelphia. They need a ton of help. But these 2 guys are sitting in the catbird seat.
Keep an eye, obviously, on 12.
Stafford looking that way. Stafford throwing deep, and it's going to be incomplete. Intended for Mumfield, trying to make a contested catch against Josh Jobe, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, they're really targeting Josh Jobe, no matter who is lined up against him. He put that ball up in the air to allow Mumfield to kind of come back, go up. Jobe never sees the football until it's too late. The ball got in there, but it came out. Jobe, to his credit, got that left hand in there to be able to knock that away from him. Good effort there by the rookie out of Pitt.
Second and 10 on the ground. Picking up about 6, third down. And now you got hobbling off is Jackson. Alaric Jackson, left tackle.
He hobbled towards Seattle's side. I don't know if he was walking off, maybe somebody stepping on his foot.
They'll have to take a timeout.
Well,
do the Seahawks. Sure, the Seahawks have to take the timeout.
McVay still has the 2 timeouts at 31 seconds. What a balanced approach and what he's put out there. You think always about the MVP, who you would think would be the obvious front runner, in Matthew Stafford. But it's really, they have been bullish with the physicality in their run game, but they're going to have to throw it here if they're going to get in the field goal range.
Little interesting that Seattle's taking the time.
I agree.
Here. Yeah, like, third down and 5. On the ground, tackle made here, and it's fourth down. Tackle made by Leonard Williams.
Problem is you're out of timeouts.
Right, that is the issue.
That's the end of the half.
And that'll take us to the locker room, or at least them to the locker room. Take us to a snack.
Your steak is ready, sir.
Yeah. Your junior mints are ready. All right, we're almost ready for Kaylee, and here she is.
Mike, over 250 yards of offense for the Rams against one of the best defenses in the league. How do you stop them?
Well, we're going to make a couple adjustments, understand the formations that they're in, calm down, and we'll be okay.
A tough way for your offense to end the half with that fumble. But other than that, what have been the challenges to getting that unit going?
We've got to keep the ball moving forward. You know, the penalty on the first down of the series is not going to help, so can't do that against this defense. So let's keep moving forward. Let's sustain some drives and go finish in the red zone.
Thanks, Mike.
Kaylee Hartung in Seattle, and away we go in the second half with Rashid Shaheed, who had a 100-yard run back a couple of weeks ago at Atlanta to break the tie just after halftime, is back to receive. Got him from New Orleans in the trade. He'll down it there to the 35 they go moments ago. Kaylee on the field with Sean McVay.
Well, Sean, your offense has moved the ball at will. How do you ensure those drives into the end zone?
Yeah, we've just got to be execution a little bit better on some of the early downs. I got to put us in some better situations. I know they're going to have some adjustments, but we got to continue this momentum like that we finished our most recent drive with a touchdown. Big stop by the defense to force that fumble. Here we go for a second half. This is what you love.
Thanks, Sean.
Thanks.
He's going to make a hell of an analyst someday, isn't he? No kidding.
What more could you do?
No.
I love how he just falls on his sword. That was a pretty good first half there.
Yeah, he's great at that. Perfect analysis. From the 35-yard line, Seattle starts this drive on the ground, and Verse says no thank you, and the tackle is now made on Zach Charbonnet after a gain of 2.
And now we talked about Poona Ford and the difference that he has made. They went out intentionally to make a difference in this run defense, and here he is in the very first play, just setting a tone, dominating up front, just pushing around Sundell right there. You know, their run defense a year ago, 28th in the NFL. This year, it's become a top 10 run defense.
Poona Ford 5'11" and 314 pounds. Play fake. Over the middle, pass is caught, looking for the first down, and coming close to it is Charbonnet. See where they spot it, a little bit short, 3rd and inches.
Yeah, Clint Kubiak continues. We'll see how this second half unfolds, but continues to be very conservative. Now you just put that graphic up 4 or 6 in the first half for Sam Darnold. Keep in mind, I think they're just trying to kind of, like a boxing match, just kind of box. You're just hanging in there, get into that fourth quarter, stay within striking distance.
There's your tush push, Northwest version. A.J. Barner's going to take the snap, one of the tight ends, and he will, I think, pick up the first down as they come in from the corners. Ready to put it down, and they said move those chains, first down.
Barner's a big man, and 6'6", 251 pounds. And easily is able to get that first down with the help from behind there. Nice push.
His 10th rush of the season, 9 first downs.
Pretty good effort.
Very effective. Hand the ball off here. Walker Kenneth Walker inside the 40. Kenneth Walker is out in front. Kenneth Walker, touchdown Seahawks.
Well, Al, we just talked about Poona Ford and what he did to Sundell. And boy, does Sundell do a great job. Late movement. Watch him in the middle. You'll see the movement from the nose moves over. Good job of helping out. Then he's able to get up to the linebacker. And that's just Kenneth Walker with great instincts as a ball carrier, able to find that hole in the backside and then uses the speed to outrun the secondary into the end zone.
55 yards for Walker. Seattle on the cusp of taking the lead, which they do, just inside the left upright of the foot of Myers. So we are 2 minutes, 3 seconds into the second half. 14-13, Seattle. Seattle, Emerald City.
How about the two backs? 160 yards combined, the rest of the team 25. And Kenneth Walker has 136 of those yards with that big screen early in the game.
Kickoff fielded at the 8-yard line and cut to the outside, take it down to the 27 is Ronnie Rivers, and that's where the Rams will take over.
Time for Smart Moves, presented by Chime, and it's the offensive line. We've seen Sean McVay in that 13 personnel. Instead of throwing it, they've been running, getting a good push up front. Been very impressive. You're talking about one of the top defensive lines in the NFL, and their starting right guard, Kevin Dotson, is out. Justin Diedrich is in, and they still are staying committed to that run game. And you see the push. They're moving that line of scrimmage 2-3 yards collectively across the front. But it's the loudest this crowd has been since the beginning of this game.
They're totally back into it. Their team up by a point. Kyron Williams is the running back on first down. He takes it. Gains 1, 2nd and 9. I mean, this is the loudest. Well, Arrowhead and Seattle are always going back and forth, but we're in Seattle. It's a true sound garden.
No doubt about it. We just talked about how they're getting a push, Al, and now you got Leonard Williams using those hands. See how he pressed McClendon away from his body? Eyes in the backfield. Now he's able to peek around, get off that block, and make a heck of a play. What a player he is in his 11th year, 31 years old, out of USC.
They called the 12s. Let them hear them roar. Pass is incomplete to the outside. Try to get it to Davis Allen, tight end. 3rd and 9.
Davis Allen has had a hard time. That would have been obviously a very tough catch. That ball is away from him, but we've been bragging about the tight ends and how good they are and how versatile they are. And with Devontae Adams not playing tonight, how they've had to step up. Now you got a 3rd and long. They have not put Stafford in this offensive line in too many of these kind of situations. See if they dial up the pressure.
Go 5 wide. Stafford deep downfield as a man open makes the catch. Xavier Smith. What a time for his first grab tonight. Second-year guy out of Florida A&M gets free all the way downfield for 48.
So you have Puka right here that's going to go to the out. Watch how that takes to safety with him, and that's going to open up the slot to go right by that safety. See the little confusion? Looking over his shoulder, not real sure if he had help. That's Devin Witherspoon, who wasn't real. I think he thought he had a safety coming over to help him.
That's Adams. That's the one guy who could get lost. Xavier Smith, you're not even thinking about him. They go 5 wide, he'd be number 5. From the 24-yard line, whistle before the snap. Timeout Rams. Play clock is going all the way down.
Yeah, I mean, 3rd and 9.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show you, they got him in man-to-man. The safety goes out with Puka, and it just opened it up. And it was, I don't think they're expecting, like you said, the ball to go downfield to Smith.
You want to know something crazy? Of course, the winner of this game has the path that they went out. Do you realize the 49ers, if the Rams lose tonight, the 49ers could wind up 13-4. These teams could wind up 13-4, and the tiebreak would go to San Francisco.
It's unbelievable.
Think about that.
Like we said earlier, San Francisco is sitting around there. They're watching this game, polling for Mike McDonald and the Seahawks to win because they've got them still coming up on their schedule. And if they keep winning, what a matchup that ends up being into the year.
Wouldn't that be crazy? In Division 13-4, 3 teams.
Nobody's talking about the 49ers because of all their injuries, and there they are.
They are now. First down. And a gain of 6 to the 18-yard line, flag down. That was Williams.
And it's going to be a hold on Jackson, I believe.
Holding. Offense, number 77. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Indeed.
Trying to work that left side. You got all 3 tight ends on that side, even 2 of them on the edge. And you got Davis Allen lined up as a fullback, but it's 77. You see that big blitz there by Drake Thomas. Drake Thomas has become a very important piece to this defense, second on the team in tackles.
First down, 20. Little flea flicker, pass, screen, lots of blocking out in front. Inside the 20 to the 18-yard line goes Colby Parkinson, who's had a great season. His first grab tonight, good for 16.
And usually you see a flea flicker, it's because you're trying to take a shot downfield. But instead, they use that to kind of as decoys to sell it. Look at that defense, they're sinking. And now you got a couple offensive linemen as decoys downfield, leading the big fullback Parkinson. What a call there after the big penalty at 1st and 20 to get him back on schedule.
2nd and 4, Parkinson, ex-Seahawk, spent 4 years here. Stafford, short roll, looks downfield, he's going to take it himself and out of bounds, gets bumped out a couple of yards shy by Witherspoon. 3rd down and about 3.
This defense prides itself on not giving up explosives. They've been as consistent as anybody in the league, and that's why that 3rd and 9 for a big shot over their head was so surprising. They like to keep their safeties back, try to win the front, try to win the line of scrimmage with the front and the linebackers, and that time they did a good job of being disciplined on the back end. Stafford just had to roll out of bounds.
Running their 48th play to Seattle's 24. 3rd and 3 on the ground, breaking a tackle but unable to get any further yardage. Ernest Jones, former Ram, makes the stop, that time on Williams, 4th down.
They're going to kick a field goal here. I talked about him early. He's not the one many people talk about, but Byron Murphy in the middle right here. He's lined up on the right shoulder of Shelton, but he bounces to the other side. Completely surprised him because he was shaded on the right side. He bounced around to his left side and was able to get penetration to blow that play up.
36-yard attempt. Harrison Mevis, he's 7 for 7 this season on field goals. They're trying to give the Rams a lead. High snap. They get the ball down, and the kick is good. Great job. That time, flag is down. Ethan Evans.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense with center. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
That's Jake McQuaid, who they got back. They had him. Got rid. Meanwhile, fantastic job by Evans, at least for the moment, to get that ball down.
I'm with you. You see the ball moves just barely. He actually flexed his arms there and moved the ball. But I'm with you. What a job by Evans of being able to secure that ball, even though it was all for naught, to be able to get that down.
So now it's a 41-yard attempt for Harrison Mevis. The 5'11", 243-pound place kicker. Evans gets it down. Mevis bangs it through. And back and forth we go with 8:37 to play in the 3rd quarter. Rams back on top 16-14 in Seattle.
This year with Liam Cohn taking over in his first year.
Oh, for sure. That's next Thursday night, Christmas night. Kickoff here. Will bound through the end zone. So 16-14. Here's number 11, JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Ohio State kid, who you take a
Here is now on the inside off to the right with motion back to the outside.
Wallace is on him. Meanwhile, here's Darnold. Darnold throws, and he goes for JSN, but incomplete. 2nd down. Caley.
Guys, JSN's ability to compete has gotten better and better throughout the season, according to Cooper Kupp. He said one of the hardest things to do is stay locked in when you're not getting the ball because opponents are so focused on you. So Kupp's been preaching that patience to JSN, telling him they are not going to have an answer for you all game. You're going to have to go do something special. Mike McDonald said Kupp has been a huge asset to JSN since he got to Seattle.
Thank you, Kelly. There are the numbers. Puka and Nakua right behind him. Puka missed one game this year with an injury. JSN has played in every game. Now out of the pistol, but before that happens, we've got a false start.
False start. Offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Gray Zabel, the left guard.
I've seen Jackson Smith and Jigba since his freshman year at Ohio State, and they had Chris Olave, and by the way, Jamison Williams before he transferred to Alabama. You had Garrett Wilson. What a talented group in that wide receiver room with Brian Hartline, who was their receiver coach. And, I remember talking to him about who's the best of all you guys, and they all pointed to him, even though he was a young receiver at that time.
It's you, the old Buckeye. What about you want to bring Chris Carter's name into it? Second down and 15. Pass is caught. Oh, well, you knew that sooner or later he had to grab one, and he does. And that gets the crowd rising. 20-yard game.
And now Kubiak's having a hard time getting him the ball out wide, so he puts him into the backfield and gets him matched up against Josh Wallace, the slot, who had to try to follow him out of the backfield. And a good job of being decisive and getting that ball out by Sam Darnold.
They got trips to the right side. They go that way, and that's a great tackle right there by Wallace, who upends Charbonnet. Second down.
This guy, Josh Wallace, has become a great story. And talking to Les Snead earlier today, he told us, the one thing about our secondary, we don't have a lot of first-round picks, but they're connected as a unit, like an offensive line would be. Very cerebral. And he said Josh Wallace is a great example. Never really has played in the slot, but because of the entry to Quentin Lakes, had to move there, and you could see great job, great awareness there to make that play on that 1st and 10 throw to Charbonnet.
Second down 10. And not a lot there either. You mentioned Les Snead. What a job he's done. They didn't have a number 1 pick for 8 or 9 years, right? Then next year they have Atlanta's pick and their pick. So during the parade after the Super Bowl, Les said blank the draft picks. Now he's saying collect the draft picks.
No doubt.
There he is.
He's done a remarkable job, and you and I were talking. I mean, as good as there is in the business. Both these GMs
terrific
here tonight are as good as there is, and what a job of rebuilding this defense. Most of them are on rookie contracts still.
You saw him with the Stan Kroenke, whose Avalanche lead the league, whose Arsenal team is on top in the Premier League, and the Nuggets aren't doing too badly either. 3rd and 8 is picked off, intercepted by, speaking of Josh Wallace, there is Josh Wallace, and he will take it to the 1-yard line. Almost on cue.
Right on cue. And I'll tell you what, give Chris Shula an assist here. Josh Wallace, they show man-to-man across the board. Press man walked up. So if I'm Sam Darnold and I look at this look right here, I'm thinking it's man-to-man, but watch what Wallace does. Comes off of it, baits him, and then steps in front. So he shows man-to-man, goes from pre-snap to post-snap, catches Sam Darnold off guard. Watch how Wallace comes off of it, sinks, playing zone, reading the eyes of Darnold, and then steps in front. Perfectly coached, and a great job there by 30. Right on cue, as you said, Al.
And a great job by Kenneth Walker, at least to save a touchdown for the moment, even though it's first down and goal now at the 1. Blake Corum is the back. He has it. And he gets spun down, and he is in for the touchdown. So the crowd goes silent as Corum puts it in on the first play after the pick. The return was 56 yards for Wallace.
Obviously the interception sets this up. The offense does their job and finishes this off. You can see the reach just enough there to be able to break the play and get the touchdown for the Rams. Not only do they get the points, they take the crowd back out of the game
instantaneously.
Remember, it was turnovers that really cost Seattle in that first matchup. Had 4 of them. They got 2 of them now.
So trying to make it a 9-point 2-possession game. Harrison Mevis has not missed a kick in the half year he's been with the Rams. Stays perfect, and that makes it 23-14 with 6.5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Kirk just got finished talking about Wallace. For the races he goes. So they take the ball out of play, mark it, and he'll have that baby in his trophy case pretty soon. Kick will go into the end zone. Every player seems to have a kryptonite. And the Rams would be Sam's kryptonite. 1-4 against them, trails by 9 tonight. Trying to get over that hump.
Yeah, and of course everybody points to the playoff game last year where they came up short, had the 9 sacks, a game earlier this year with the 4 interceptions, and now here we are tonight, especially coming off of that last series where he throws the pick against Wallace. He still has time, 6:30 to go here in his third, but they're going to have to get out of conservative mode and start getting aggressive.
Short drop, and then the pass, and fighting his way for what should be a first down is the tight end Barner. It is a first down.
And the question is this defense continues to cheat their way towards 11, Jackson Smith and Jigba. Is Barner enough? Is Shaheed going to be able to make plays? Can Cooper Kupp, who had the big play but then fumbled the football? Because this defense is forcing Seattle to find someone else besides JSN to beat them.
First down. Darnold gets smacked and almost has it picked. Almost picked by Landman. So bursting through Omar's space, who's kind of been one of the unsung heroes of that Ram defense. Smacked him as he got rid of it like he wasn't picked.
So the 2 linebackers are waiting to see which way he goes. Once he goes this way, he holds and he ends up blitzing. And Spates is able to get in clean. And that's some big trouble there, right? That A-gap pressure is what gives Sam Darnold so much, and any quarterback for that matter, so much pressure. And affecting his eyes and being able to look downfield. He's lucky that one wasn't picked after that tip ball.
2nd and 10. Again, a short drop pass caught. Smith and Jigba takes that to the 44-yard line. So they get him into the action. 2 catches, now first down.
And a heck of a job. Let's give Sam Darnold some credit there. Used his eyes to be able to move 53 Landman just far enough outside to open that back up in the middle. Kind of manipulated the coverage and then came back inside.
Shaheed in motion. Darnold looked that way. Looks off. Look out from behind. Flag thrown. Incomplete. Downfield. Intended for Barner. See about the flag.
Obvious hold. Right tackle Abraham Lucas. So that'll bring him back.
Offense number 72. 10-yard penalty. First down.
1st and 20.
And I'll tell you, this young rookie out of Michigan, Josiah Stewart, he is really coming on. We know about BY, Byron Young, and of course Jared Verse, but this gives them a 3rd guy to be able to pressure the quarterback. And they've done such a good job. You mentioned how they haven't had a lot of first-rounders over the last few years except for Verse. Stewart's a guy that they were able to pick up in a 3rd round, and he just keeps getting better and better, learning from the other 2 outside pressure guys, Verse and Young.
1st and 20. Here's Walker. Not much this time. 48-yard line. 2nd and 18. Tackled there by Byron Young.
They're 11-3 at home and trying to get a hold of the 1 seed in the NFC. What have you done for me lately?
Sure.
But right now it's just, where are the weapons? And this defense, to their credit, they are locked in on 11, and right now making adjustments to take away 9 as well. Kenneth Walker. There's JSN in the backfield again.
Caught a pass out of the backfield on the last drive. Oh, Darnold in a lot of trouble again. Flips it, caught, going to a knee, getting back up. Here's Kenneth Walker again to the 47 of Los Angeles, and that's Josh Wallace in on that play. 3rd and 14.
It's just out of sync. Again, this is an offense that is built on running the football. They run the ball more than anybody. in the NFL. Not necessarily efficient, but they run it to set up rhythm passing out of the play action game. And when they get behind the sticks and they get into that shotgun, it just feels like they're stuck in second or third gear.
In particular tonight, way behind the sticks. 3rd and 14. Under 4 to go in the third. Rams up by 9. Darnold. This time decent protection, and the pass, though, is not even close to Cooper Kupp on the outside. And the crowd very frustrated.
And what we just talked about, how when they get behind the sticks, how the rhythm and timing is off. Cooper Kupp and Sam Darnold. Darnold, I don't know if he's expecting this route to be 2 or 3 yards shorter, but this never really had a chance. Ball is thrown much shorter. Really right at the sticks, as I feel like is where he was expecting Kupp to come out of that break.
So Michael Dixon, 3rd punt of the night, and that will glance out of bounds somewhere inside the 15.
Look at the Seahawks. They blitzed on 42% of dropbacks versus the Rams, 21.6 versus all other teams this year. And I don't know if Stafford's the guy you want to blitz. All year, he's done a very good job of handling the blitz. See tonight, 5 of 8, 74 yards and a touchdown.
Start this drive here. 7-yard run. With Puka Nacua made a couple of headlines, and he apologized. He said some stuff he shouldn't have on a live stream. There he is. And, you thought this could have been a distraction. Not at all for the Rams. The Rams people basically saying, hey, look, he got caught, didn't know what he was saying. And it was more about a case of naivete than anything else.
Yeah, maybe just being young and as you say, naive to a situation, hanging out with some guys maybe you shouldn't be talking about some certain things.
Mm-hmm. At the line of scrimmage there, Kyron Williams.
Hopefully it'll be a learning opportunity for him. He's a great guy. I've followed him since he was at BYU. He's done nothing, but every step he's taken as a Ram has been first class, and hopefully he learns from this mistake.
And has never eaten a vegetable, and I know that for a fact.
No, I remember that. Yeah.
I did it with him earlier this year. 2 big steaks, baby.
Not a vegetable to be seen at that table.
Went right to the dumpster. 3rd down and 3. Rams up by 9. A little over 2 minutes to play in the third. Stafford in the pocket. Stafford throws up to the 30-yard line, and that will be Xavier Smith. He had the long gainer earlier, 1st down.
Does a great job of just having a feel where to just kind of settle down in this zone. They just rushed 4. We just talked about how much they blitz. He just sat right between the 2 linebackers, made it very easy. He's not the biggest guy. He's 5'9". Al mentioned that earlier, 180. But he just sat between those 2 linebackers in zone, and of course Stafford able to dial him up for that 1st down conversion.
Great protection. Pass caught. 35-yard line. Williams, that offensive line, and again, they're minus Kevin Dotson, who went out earlier, brought in Dedich, who got penalized on his first play, but doing a nice job. Meanwhile, here's Puka. Look, no target since the first play of the second quarter. They're doing a pretty good job bracketing him.
Well, they want to take him out. Obviously, he started the game pretty fast. He had 4 receptions at 74 yards, had a big one for 54 yards where he almost got out. But, yeah, they've taken him away, so Stafford has had to come up, relying more on the running game, which has been great tonight, and finding other options, especially with Adams out.
2nd and 6, keep it on the ground, setting up a 3rd and 2.5. Carrying here, Byron Murphy makes the tackle on Williams.
This Seattle defense has carried them all year. They played great on offense, but let's face it, Mike McDaniel's a defensive coach. He's a head coach that calls the defense. You're down, you're at home. There's a lot on the line here. If they're going to come back in this game, it's the defense. And the alphas on this defense are going to have to make some plays.
Yeah, McDonald's pedigree on that side of the ball under John Harbaugh in Bullhorn, and then he spent 1 year going to Michigan under Jim. 3rd down and 3, waning seconds of the quarter. Blitz coming. Stafford hangs in, throws wide open. There's Nakua. Nakua breaking a tackle, being chased, and they will get him at the 5-yard line. Eamon Wari chasing him down, saving the touchdown. Stafford says, let's get to the line quickly. Doesn't have to. It's the end of the third quarter. End of 3. 23-14, Rams. Number 1 seed Seahawks still have not clinched the playoff berth. The Rams have, but they would clinch one with a win tonight. So here we go, fourth quarter. Al Michaels, Kirk Herbstreit, Kaylee Hartung after the big Nakua reception from the 5. First down, pickup of about 2 for Williams.
Go back to this play right at the end of the third quarter. I mean, we just talked about how Seattle has blitzes a lot. There's Thomas. They brought a blitz. And look at Kobe Bryant, who was a corner in college at UC. But he just gets turned around. And there, once again, is Puka after the catch. Not only is he physical, but the speed to be able to run away from those defenders. But rolled the dice on that third down, brought those 2 inside linebackers off coverage against the safety. What a mismatch. And there's the flex by Sean McVay.
Rams now over 400 yards of offense. On the ground, Williams trying to work his way to the goal line. Not yet. 3rd and goal from the 1.
You know, Al, I just feel like that 21 team, you and Chris called a Super Bowl against Cincinnati, and it ended up a Super Bowl champion. But I'm telling you, these backs, they set a tone, and they feed. I know we didn't score, but it's the way they run and the juice and attitude that they bring. Kobe Bryant's going down here.
Oh, yeah, to go with the great receivers, to go with Stafford's fantastic year, to go with that defense. Meanwhile, Bryant will get the attention here before a 3rd and goal. So McDonald talked about his background, Baltimore under John Harbaugh, Jim Harbaugh. Now he's got his son, Jim's son, Jay, is the special teams coach here.
Yep.
All in the family.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of those guys, you talk to him as a coordinator. There's Jay right there. You talk to him, and when he's a coordinator, there's certain guys you talk to him, that guy's going to be a head coach, right? And Mike McDonald, I think, had that kind of presence, so committed to just a little aspects of defense, and now being a head coach to the totality of the preparation. And there's 8 right there. It's like he gets caught up in some traffic right there. You see the Rams player Jackson, the left tackle, came down on that right foot.
Third down goal. Just trying to stretch the lead, and that is going to be hauled in by who else? Puka Nakua.
Well, we wanted the no look, and we got it. We asked him on our Zoom, are you going to give us a no look? Can you mix that into your repertoire on Thursday night? And he kind of laughed, and here it is. It's coming. He's looking out there. Puka. Nope. And it's just amazing how he does that. Looks outside, and then he brings it inside to Puka. Just sensational. Side-eyeing Puka there into the end zone.
Can't trust those lion eyes. Extra point is good.
You know how hard that is? I mean, it's incredible that he does that.
I'd like to know the range of his peripheral vision.
Right.
It's got to be fantastic.
Well, with 4 daughters, he's got to work he's got to have that spider vision.
The head's on a swivel. Meanwhile, you got Georgia Frontiere. The late Georgia Frontiere was the owner. So many amazing stories, but that was the greatest show on turf. But it was a defensive play that saved the game. Mike Jones, an amazing tackle. Otherwise, with the extra point, that game would have gone to overtime.
What a game.
Phenomenal game.
What a game. I thought the Titans were out of it. You were bringing them back. I mean, it was an amazing moment come down to that last play.
And Kurt Warner, don't forget, that is the year. The Rams were 4-12 the year before. And then Trent Green was going to be the quarterback. He got hurt in preseason.
Yep.
And then Kurt Warner, who was the name of a running back for Seattle at that point. This is a different Kurt Warner. And Georgia Frontiere, I was told by the president of the team at the time, John Shaw, went and said, we lost Trent Green. Who's the quarterback? He says, Kurt Warner.
Iowa Barnstormers.
Right.
Kurt Warner.
Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
And she says, oh, John, relax. Kurt Warner could be the next Johnny Unitas. I heard that story before they won the Super Bowl.
Wow.
So it's all true.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's incredible. And he was the next Johnny Unitas for 3 years. That pass is caught. Smith and Jigba is taken down at the 38-yard line by Darius Williams.
And we talk about what's made him so effective this year, leading the NFL in receiving yards. Here's a good example of it. Just a subtle movement, fuels leverage, works back to the outside, and there's Darnold in rhythm, able to get one hitch and get the ball out, which is where he's at his best.
From the 38-yard line, Darnold throws. Here goes Smith and Jigba's way again. Oh, little action there after the play. Second down. Williams again on the coverage.
You know, technically, you're a couple possessions down. You know, there's Kobe Bryant, who got rolled up on, is checking out, going to the locker room. But you know, this Rams are changing their defensive approach a little bit, getting a little bit softer, just trying to keep everything in front. They don't want to give up an easy one. But meanwhile, Darnold now starting to throw the ball, getting the ball out quicker, playing with a little bit more urgency.
Darnold 12 of 18 now, 162 to the ground. They go here. That's Charbonnet, and he'll pick up the first down, gets to the 22-yard line. A little over 12 to play.
Mike McDonald, the head coach of Seattle, told us an interesting thing about the growth of this team from where they were last year to where they are this year. He said one of the things I really like about our team, whether it's something good or it's something bad, we're able to put it behind us and look forward, not dwell on the negative, not dwell on the positive. Let's move on to the next play. Well, that's going to be tested here in these last 12 minutes.
Walker looking for space. There is none. Short gain. Poona Ford first to get to him.
You know, again, if I'm Sam Darnold, I'm thinking right now about we got to get a quick score here, and then again with the 2-point conversion, if you're able to hit it, now you're within a possession, and now you got to get the defense that you feel is one of the best in the league to step up against Matthew Stafford. It's been a tough night against his offense, but first things first, they got to execute, put the ball in the end zone.
Yep, down by 16. 11 and change to play in regulation. Darnold fires, caught on the run, and taking it to the 10-yard line. Kenneth Walker having a big night on the ground and through the air. That's 64 receiving yards on 3 catches for him.
Yeah, Cody White, 82, right here, takes a defender with him. Right there, he takes Landman, and that opens it up. And that little angle route for Kenneth Walker, who is so dangerous out of the backfield. You know, obviously we know what he can do running the football with the vision, the patience, and the burst, but really good hands out of the backfield.
First and goal right at the 10. Smith and Jigba on the left side. Darnold looking that way, Darnold throwing that way, and Jigba will get spun down, forward progress to about the 7 by Darius Williams.
Yeah, they got the matchup that they wanted when they motioned him across. He got him matched up against Darius Williams. Favorable matchup, but just not a lot of space with the ball in that left hash. Just not a lot of room to wiggle after the catch. Got to attack more vertically into the end zone. And the clock is as big an enemy as anything here for the Seahawks.
Next snap, down under 10. Second and goal. Darnold dancing, escaping, and just fires that one into the seats. Third down and goal.
Yeah, they're thinking about, obviously this got to be 4-down territory, so he does the right thing, throwing that football away. You know, red zone was a big problem in week 11 against the Rams. 1 of 4, they just could not punch it in. They haven't had a ton of opportunities tonight down in that red zone, just 1 of 1 after that screen pass got them down there. They were able to punch it in.
Yeah, well, Myers leads the league in scoring, but that means he's kicked a lot of field goals
right,
instead of getting touchdowns and extra points. Third down and goal. Empty the backfield. Darnold under pressure, and that's intercepted at the 1-yard line. That is Kobe Turner with another Rams interception.
They fooled him again, this time with a zone pressure. Kobe Kobe Turner, the defensive lineman, instead of rushing, he drops right into the passing lane, completely surprises Sam Darnold. Rams once again one step ahead of Darnold and the Seahawks, and they get a big pick. Man and dropped into zone, and Wallace came up with a pick. Here's zone pressure. They blitz the backer and drop of all guys, Kobe Turner, one of their best pass rushers, a 300-pounder. Watch 91, show it, now drop, replace that linebacker, completely fool Sam Darnold, and the big man comes up with it.
I'm tired.
Oh boy. Yeah,
he's tired.
Yeah. Well, he had 2 blue shirts in front of the receiver that time. Ooh, 2nd and 6.
And the struggles with the turnovers continue for Sam Darnold in this offense. Remember the 4 interceptions last time that they matched up in this game, and now turnovers once again with 3 of them tonight.
Both picks coming on 3rd down. Here's a little clock here. Blake Corum, line of scrimmage, 3rd down. So the Rams started out 3-2, as did the Seahawks. Now they're on the verge of making it 9 of their last 10. The only loss would be to Carolina. So they go into Atlanta next week. You know, you think, okay,
yeah,
Falcons have that. But we saw the Falcons last week come from 14 down to beat Tampa, who had a lot at stake. So who knows? Who knows anything? 3rd down and 6.
I know this team's pretty good, right? We know that.
We know that. That's for sure. Stafford throwing, and that's incomplete. Nakua was there, but covered well, 4th down. You know, it's amazing about Stafford, too. Right now, he looks like he'll be the league MVP. I mean, he's definitely the clear frontrunner. In his entire career, in only 1 season, did he even get a vote in the top 10.
You told me that.
He was 8.
I could not believe that.
How about that?
All those years in Detroit, obviously.
Well, yeah.
But, 21 just because they won the Super Bowl, but that regular season wasn't fantastic. They caught fire at the right time.
Absolutely.
At the end of the year.
Yep. Had a hold off Tampa Bay and Brady, then beat San Francisco coming from behind in the championship game. Meanwhile, that punt is caught, and down the line goes Rashid Shaheed for the score. Out of nowhere, 58 yards. They picked him up. John Schneider got him in a trade with New Orleans midway through the season. He has been masterful.
And Shaheed picks up Sam Darnold after the interception. The Rams only took 1:21 off the clock. So you get a good job by the defense, a 3 and out. A good job, obviously, by Shaheed with a big turn of events with this return. And now it comes down, they got to get this 2-point conversion.
Huge 2-point conversion here. They bring Shaheed back into the game.
Make sure he stayed in bounds here.
Yeah. Good. Still good. All good. Tight roping. And we talked about Jay Harbaugh, the special teams coach. Boy, does he have a nice little piece to go with his group. Charbonnet is the back. Kupp sprints in motion. Darnold throws, and it will be in there for the 2 points. Kupp. They serenade him with Coop, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's a 1-possession game.
Yeah, 1-possession game after all this. You and I are talking about the Rams and what they have in front of them after that interception. And the Seahawks defense does the job to get him back in, to give Shaheed this opportunity. He's been doing it really his entire career, coming out of Boise State in his 4th year. What a job of setting it up, Weber State rather. What a job of setting that up, and then it's just him being so instinctive as a returner. And then it came down to it, you got to get the 2-point conversion, and they move Cooper Kupp from the right over to the left. That's very important because I think that allows him to be aligned with JSN and kind of uses him almost as just like bounces off of him, uses him as a screen, and timed up perfectly against McCullough, and a great throw by Sam Darnold to get the 2-point conversion.
And 8:03 remains, ton of time. That was the Rams' first punt of the night. Sends it down, fielded at the 4, drop, picked back up. This is Whittington, gets smothered at the 22-yard line. So the crowd totally back into it now. Look again now at the remaining schedules. Told you about the importance of this one. Rams go to Atlanta next week, have the Cards at home. Hawks go to the Panthers next week. Still, they are very much in the hunt in the NFC South at the Niners, and the Niners at the Colts. Then the Bears at home and the Seahawks.
It's game on now.
It is. Don't forget Kobe Bryant is out. Ty Okada is in his spot from the 22-yard line. Rolling, throwing. Nakua gets taken down after a short game. Minwari making that stop. 2nd and 7, gain of 3.
McVay has changed up his personnel groupings all night long. He's back to that 13 look with the one back and the 3 tight ends. McDonald did a nice job of his defense, taking away those tight ends on those sail routes, forced him to go underneath.
Kyron Williams is the back. Play action, look out. Stafford avoids a sack. But the pressure costs him the opportunity to hit his receiver, Leonard Williams and DeMarcus Lawrence. The 2 veterans come in side by side.
Remember, we talked about if this team's going to get back into it, this defense and some of these alphas got to make plays. And there it is, 99, Leonard Williams able to work around. DeMarcus Lawrence able to finish on it. We've not seen them attack this offensive line in Stafford all night the way they are right now.
Decibel level is 111 according to the message board. 3rd down 7. Four-man rush. Stafford chased, escapes, throws downfield into traffic, and that is incomplete. Intended for Mumpfield. So it's 4th down and 7, and that drive took all of 54 seconds.
Now watch this. You know where Stafford wants to go on 3rd down. Look at their bracketing him, but look at 21 Witherspoon. Good job of keeping eye, plastering, not giving him a chance to throw the ball where he wanted it to go. Forced him to go to the rookie Mumpfield, and that's incomplete. Terry McCauley giving us the sign to confirm it. See the ball on the surface. Defense again, a 3 and out, doing their job.
Rams back-to-back 3 and outs. So here's Evans' second punt. The first ended in a disaster. It's a short, wobbly kick that bounced out of bounds near midfield. So the Seahawks are going to have pretty good field position with 7:02 to play in regulation here in Seattle. We're back at 30 seconds. When trailing by 15 or more in the 4th quarter, 0 and 172.
Whew. All right.
That's one hell of a schneid to get off of, isn't it?
Hell of a run.
Yep. Start this drive from the 43. Shaheed. Flag is thrown. So Shaheed with another good run, but. Where's it going to go? Flag thrown at the 47-yard line. Teams are starting to move back in that direction. What do we have?
Lined up in a neutral.
Oh!
55.
Yeah, 55.
That penalty is declined. The result of the play is 1st down, Seattle.
Both teams started to head back toward midfield.
Much like last week, where Shaheed made a difference late against Indy, you're seeing that same thing here tonight. The big punt return. Now they get him out in space in the reverse. I mean, he is dynamic. They brought him over November 4th when Torrey Horton went down. He was a speedster. They needed some speed, and they went down to the Saints and brought him over. What a difference these last few weeks he's made.
31-yard pickup, 1st down from the 26-yard line. Play clock at 3. Rolling left. Throwing back the other way. He's got a man. Caught. Barner. Touchdown. 26 yards. And this place just exploding. Obviously going for 2.
I'll tell you what, man. Sam Darnold takes a lot of heat. You know, he's thrown 6 interceptions against the Rams. If you go back to Week 11 and tonight, everybody probably in the stands booing him, wondering what's going on with 14. He can't win a big game. Well, Shaheed gave him a chance. What a call by Clint Kubiak. We'll show it to you in a second. Got the Rams out of position, makes a great throw, and they got a chance to tie it up. Last time they went to Cooper Kupp, brought him over in motion, used JSN as a decoy. Now they got JSN off to the right, lined up one-on-one against Forbes. Safety cheating over there.
Does it go that way? 3 receivers to the left. Quick throw here and into a lot of traffic and incomplete. Man, there was a whole traffic jam on the left side. Who was he going to at that point? Verse is there to help break it up. It remains a 2-point game.
Yeah, watch this route by Barner. Typically, when you run this route, you work to the inside. He sets it up and then goes to the outside. See the safety there? That was Cam Kitchens, completely fooled with that route.
Now you got a scrum in the middle of the field. These two teams, obviously, not thrilled with each other.
What an effort by Barner at 6'6" to climb the ladder and come up with that catch. Unable to hit the 2-pointer, but with 6:23 to go, and the way their defense, 2 straight 3-and-outs, it's going to be an interesting finish here.
Terry, what do you see on this play here?
Al, this may be a backward pass. We need to get a good angle on it, but if it's backward, then this recovery in the clear and continuing action in the end zone would be a good 2-point conversion for Seattle.
All right.
Well, here's your look, Terry, right here.
That would be...
It's from the point of release to the point it's touched by the defensive player.
Right. And then picked up by the Seahawks after they thought the play was over. That was Charbonnet just picking up the ball in the end zone. And apparently they're looking at this, but for the moment, they're lined up to kick off.
Another look.
They stopped there.
Ruling on the field of completed. Incomplete is under further review.
Well, Terry, you're on top of it. That's exactly what they're looking for. And wouldn't that be the craziest thing?
Continuous action here. Charbonnet did pick up the ball in the end zone.
So Brad Allen will get on the headset, check it out. I don't think anybody in the crowd has any idea what's going on right now. We probably wouldn't either without Terry.
That's true. That angle looks backwards there.
Terry, we're going to bring you in one more time. What are you seeing again?
That last shot we showed from overhead, it's clearly backward. Even if it was parallel, that would be considered backward. So if we look at that overhead shot again, he releases it, and it clearly goes backward to the point of first touching.
And that's where
and there's the recovery right there. That's in the clear and continuing action.
Can you imagine?
This is good. This is a good 2-point conversion. Yes.
Wow. Imagine this announcement. This place will go ballistic.
I mean, for what's at stake, is this the craziest 2-point conversion
ever?
Ever?
To tie a game of this magnitude in the fourth quarter with 6:20 to go. So Brad Allen is the man of the moment right now. It tells us.
After reviewing the play, the quarterback threw a backward pass, which was recovered in the end zone by the offense. It is a successful conversion.
That is
the craziest ever.
Craziest ever. Great job by Terry and everybody involved there to be able to pick that up. Appreciate Terry, you seeing that, and everybody involved seeing that. And I'll tell you what, we were so focused on is it a lateral or is it not. Let's not forget the hustle by Zach Charbonnet to have the presence of mind just to go over to pick the ball up in the end zone.
Just pick it up, right?
Because if that ball rolls dead, it's a moot point.
That's all it took. Gets the recovery, knows what he just did. The whistle did not blow. That's the key there, too. The whistle never blew Otherwise, the play would have been blown dead. 3-yard line, the kickoff here. Ronnie Rivers up to the 25-yard line. Seahawks on fire right now.
I mean, this is incredible. They had a 3% chance with NGS, and now they're up to almost 50% with 6:18 to go.
I'm surprised it was 3%.
I know.
It was like 0.2.
Well, here we go.
The way the game was going. Well, this place is always raucous. Full volume right now. Rams from the 26 to start this drive. On the ground, Corum. Next to nothing, second down.
Here's the probability I was talking about. After that interception, you go back and look at that 3% after the Kobe Turner interception. But remember I said earlier in the third quarter, I said he prides himself on whether it's good or bad, we put it behind us, we go forward. We keep working forward. And I said, we'll see if it's going to play out. And here we are at 30-30.
Second down, 8. Stafford hit as he throws, incomplete. Off the hands of Colby Parkinson, 3rd and 8. And Chenna Nwosu put the heat on that time. 3rd down, 8.
Yeah, Stafford's getting heated up here these last few series. 2 straight 3-and-outs. Best job they've done defending the run, and the best job they've done at getting after Stafford. Nwosu that time hits him right as he delivers that ball right in the ribs. Parkinson's been making those catches the last 3 or 4 games, that time off the fingertips.
Yeah, you saw Stafford wincing. 5.5 in the 4th to go. 3rd down, 8. Rush 4, tip, caught. Nakua, can he get the first? He cannot. 4th down. Ball tip.
Yep.
Don't worry, put the heat on that time. 4th and 3.
Yeah, Nwosu had a heck of a series. That's the 3rd straight 3-and-out for this Seattle defense. We can talk all we want about the return. We can talk all we want about the lateral and the two. This defense stepped up against the best offense, arguably in the NFL. And they've been having a great night, and the defense put them in a position to get back in this thing.
And all that, and all this in like 4 minutes or less. Ethan Evans to punt. Fair catch called for. Made at the 23 by Shaheed. 4:47 to the finish line in regulation. 30-30. Rams and Seahawks, what's at stake? Winner controlling the path to the number 1 seed. What's fascinating, though, the number 1 seed gets a bye. They're off. 2 games at home in all likelihood. If you are the number 5 seed, and we'll get to that in a second, as Darnold throws, and Smith and Jigma looked open for a second. So if you're, in other words, you can still win like 13 games, be the number 5 seed, right, and somehow wind up playing at Tampa or Carolina, because if you win your division, you get a home game in the wild card round.
Yeah, and we saw that last year with Detroit and Minnesota late in the year playing. You know, both teams. I can't remember what a couple losses, and the loser ended up going on the road in the playoffs.
Yeah, Minnesota.
Yeah, play the Rams.
Meanwhile, Stafford went to the blue tent. 2nd and 10. Pass Walker, fighting his way for extra yardage. Wallace makes the tackle there. You saw Stafford wincing, got hit in the ribs when he released, and now he goes to the medical tent on that hit by Nwosu.
Yeah, he was hit a few times, and maybe just a couple hits adding up. This is the big one by Nwosu right here, right as he delivered it right into that right side there at his rib cage. But the Rams, you can see the reaction right there. Now the Rams defense has Darnold now at a big 3rd and 7.
That was Jimmy Garoppolo, who's the backup Rams quarterback. 3rd and 7, pass to the outside. Smith and Jigba is going to get wrestled down shy of the 1st down by Jalen McCullough. So that's a quick 3-and-out. Stafford is out of the 10. It's 4th and 4.
Yeah, this is a game that he knows what's at stake. He's having an MVP season. I'm sure he's not feeling the best. And remember, they've gone 3 straight 3-and-outs. Game is on the line. It's time for the MVP to step up and his offense to respond.
So Dixon to punt. Sends Xavier Smith back to receive. Line drive, low kick, fair catch call for made at the 19-yard line. 3:19 left in regulation, 52-yard boot. Rams 323-1, leading by 15 or more in the fourth. Seahawks 0 for 172 when trailing by that in the fourth quarter.
That graphic both ways is crazy.
The Rams lost. That loss came to the 49ers all the way back in 1989. Drive starts from the 20. Stafford is 20 out of 31 for 311. Looks right, now left, and throws over the middle. Caught. Tackle made 4 yards shy of the first down. Davis Allen makes the grab. 2nd and 4. Tackled by Ernest Jones.
Remember, we talked a lot tonight about Seattle and how they have blitzed Stafford, and Stafford almost welcoming it, hitting some big shots and some one-on-one opportunities. Now we're seeing some adjustments by Mike McDonald, rushing 4. I think because they've cranked up some energy up front, it's allowing them to get pressure with 4, sitting back a little bit more, playing some zone.
Stafford knocked down. Might have been DeMarcus Lawrence. Got his hands up. 3rd and 4.
Just like it's a different energy, a completely different effort. And I think the crowd has helped. The defensive line is playing very, very differently with the physicality and the energy and how they're attacking Stafford.
Rush 4 again. Stafford. He's got a man open and a big first down. Terrence Ferguson got free. Huge play. Flag is down. Teams are already moving to the Seahawks side of the field. Conference going on right now. You heard unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, I heard taunting.
Yeah.
Ferguson maybe after the catch, flipping the ball around and pointing. I don't know. Taunting can be a number of things.
Taunting can be smirking at somebody these days. So here's your play. Brad Allen.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 39, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Ty O'Connor.
Hit on a defenseless receiver here. Let's take a look at it. Remember, this is a 3rd down throw, and they were so concerned about Puka Nacua. Watch the safety come down. Here's the route. He gets a mismatch against a linebacker. See the safety down, taking Puka Nacua away, and you get able to get away from Drake Thomas with Terrence Ferguson, the rookie out of Oregon.
So Nacua gets an assist. First down to the 31-yard line. Williams to the outside, still on his feet, turns it into about a 7 or 8 yard gain, but a flag is down. He's jumping up and down and knows this one's probably coming back.
Yeah, probably a holding call on the edge there.
Holding, offense number 87, 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
Davis Allen. Makes it 1st and 20. So right now the ball at the 41-yard line. What would you be looking at?
Well, they got to get it to about the 34-yard line to have a chance.
You can't take a, well, you got a kicker who hasn't missed the season, but you're asking him to go 59. Need a lot of yardage, or at least some yardage, to make it makeable. 1st and 20. Pass is caught, tackle made, 36-yard line. That time they go to Parkinson. 2nd down, Drake Thomas makes the tackle. Clock stopped at 2:18. Seattle's taking a timeout.
Yeah, they're going to try to preserve that clock.
As they did last week. Look at, here's Nacua.
That's the rookie. Eamon Worry going at it with Nakua.
Yeah. Oh boy. This is, you want to concentrate on what's at hand at this point.
Yeah, and it's kind of been brewing here in this second half on both sides.
So Seattle takes a timeout. They've got 2. The Rams had to use one earlier. They've got 2, and you have the 2-minute warning.
Think about where this Rams special teams unit. Remember early in the year, Philly blocked a kick late.
Yep.
The snaps weren't great. They made some changes with the snapper, made the changes with the kicker. Much more confident now at the end of the game with Long.
Had a lot of success. Williams, he's going to take it to the 29-yard line. So now you got 3rd down. Seattle's going to take another timeout, as they did.
Seattle, their second.
And I think
Well, they did it very judiciously last week against Indianapolis because he figured that Indianapolis had a chance to kick a field goal, which they did. Where Blake Grupe kicked one from 60, gave him enough time to get in position to kick their own 56-yarder.
And I think, Al, with the holding call that got him way behind the sticks, I think it's a smart move. You're kind of betting on the fact that you're going to stop them and force this field goal on this getting a stop right here and forcing the field goal right here. And now you got some time to work with.
You got a 47-yard field goal attempt if they don't get another yard. Stafford on 3rd and 8. Stafford throwing. Nobody is there. Nobody is even close. So you got 2:11 now. Clock stop. That time it was Okada who had the taunting call, who put the pressure on. 4th down and 8, and here comes the kicker who hasn't missed. Picked him up. Middle of the season, Harrison Mevis, who has tonight kicked 3 field goals, so he's 8 for 8. Practice squad guy, first-year player out of Missouri. So here we go from 48 yards away to give the Rams the lead, and he has been no good. Looked like it was heading to be good. Off, it drifted to the right, and with 2:07, the game remains tied.
Oh my gosh. Snap is clean, hold is perfect. I was with you. It looked like it was right down the middle. It just kind of kept falling to the right.
Drifting.
Wow.
So, not only that, now Seattle has the ball. They still have a timeout. You got the 2-minute warning. We're at the 38-yard line.
Well, all we've heard about is Sam Bradford can't win a big game. What an opportunity he has with 2:07. Or Sam Darnold can't win the big game. What an opportunity with 2:07 to go and a chance to get them into field goal range and have a shot to win it.
And do it in prime time on national television in a huge game. Very little there. 2-yard pickup. Charbonnet. So Seattle running the ball. They run the ball as much as almost any team in the league. Buffalo is slightly ahead of them in that regard. We reached the 2-minute warning. What a fourth quarter we have witnessed. This got Seattle back into the game. They were down by 16. There goes Shaheed. 2-point conversion was good. Darnold hitting tough there. Then Darnold hits Barner shortly thereafter. Then it looks like the 2-point conversion doesn't work, but it was a backward pass. Charbonnet recovers in the end zone, and here we are at 30, and the missed field goal on top of that. What's to come? Still 2 minutes to go.
Well, they need to get to about the 43-yard line to give Myers, who has a career long of 61. Season long is 57.
J.C. Penney postgame show will be coming up. You think the guys and the gals have anything to talk about?
Yeah, a little bit.
Just a little bit. Maybe a 4-hour postgame show. So here comes Darnold. It's 2nd down and 8. There's Myers. Does it come down to his foot again this week? Last week, of course, 6 field goals, no touchdowns to beat the Colts 18-16. Smith-Njigba sets up now on the left side, out of the slot. Walker going back and forth. Darnold in the pocket. Darnold under pressure. Darnold's going to get sacked back at the 29-yard line. Verse and Turner are both there. Big sack, 1:54 to go. Now the Rams.
Boy. Yeah, Rams going to use the timeout. Watch Turner on the inside and what he's able to do, just getting the leverage. He has had his way with the rookie left guard, Gray Zabel. Able to work the edge there. He has such strong hands, and once he gets to the side, he's able to work by it. Verse does a good job of winning from the edge. Just nothing Darnold could do. You'd love to see him be able to get that ball out and just throw it away, but they both collapsed on him. And you go from being in a really good spot on second down to now the sack, and you're way back to 3rd and 17. And McVay obviously does the right thing with 2 timeouts, using one of them.
17 yards to get the first. They have to get to the 48-yard line. Cup on the left side. Smith-Njigba out of the slot. Darnold throws, and that's going to be knocked down. So it's incomplete, stops the clock. 4th and 17.
And look who does it. You talk about having a night. Kobe Turner, we showed him earlier playing the piano. He's been attacking this offensive line. It's beautiful because you don't have to blitz anybody. Look at Verse with that bull rush right into the face, and then Turner gets his hand up to just bat the ball away. But that sack just got him way off schedule.
And not only that, the Seahawks had to use those 2 timeouts. Low snap here. The kick has gotten away. It's a good kick. Deep, fair catch call for back at the 11-yard line. 1:42, and that's where the Rams will start to try to work their way into at least field goal position. Well, 57-yard boot. I tell you, that's a clutch kick by Dixon, one of the best in the league. 50 game-winning drives, 4th quarter or overtime. Nobody among active players has more. Can he do it again? He leads one here. He cements the MVP. Probably,
I was going to say, how fitting for him to have the ball in his hands in a tie game with so much at stake.
He surveys. Drive starting at the 12-yard line. Stafford under pressure, gets it away, but pressure was put on. The pass is incomplete, intended for Williams. Pocket collapsing on him that time.
This is one of those cases where people will go up to Mike McDonald after the game. But what was the difference in what you guys did those last 4 or 5 series? It's like a fuse has been lit up front with Leonard Williams and DeMarcus Lawrence and company. They're just winning the one-on-one battles.
2nd down, 10. Stafford, deep, reaching up. Nakua holds it in. Who else? They're going to mark it now at the 41-yard line. Quickly coming up to the line of scrimmage, 122, ticking down.
And that's good against good. Nakua against Witherspoon. Who's going to win that matchup? Just enough separation. And how about the ball and the location there by Matthew Stafford?
9 catches, 168 yards for Puka. That pass is incomplete. Pressure put on, had to get rid of it quickly. Intended for Parkinson.
Yeah, that time they did throw in a little blitz. They've been relying on that front to be able to get home. That time they brought a safety. Stafford felt that, had to get the ball out of his hands before he really wanted to.
3 straight games, 150 or more. He needs a breather.
Need about 25 more yards to give yourself a chance with Long.
2nd and 10. 66 seconds in regulation. 4-man rush again. Throws, and that's contested. Is it caught at the 49-yard line? The officials come in. It is a catch. That much shy of the first down, 3rd down. That's Mumfield making that grab.
Stafford couldn't even really follow through on that throw because of the pressure that he felt up front. Jaron Reed affected his follow through, and we got a guy down.
Their 3rd and final.
And that cost them a timeout, an injury in the last 2 minutes in this situation. As Nevis walks the sideline, looking for that opportunity Here it is again.
And look at that. He couldn't even get anything. The fact he somehow got that ball thrown that far and that accurately, when he got hit as he was throwing it. Not able to follow through at all.
They expedited it's a first down. It's not going to be 3rd and inches. Even Worry was there. Good coverage on the play, but a great catch by the 7th round rookie out of Pitt.
And again, without Devontae Adams, it's been different guys that have had to step up. Mumfield is 3 catches on the night. Smith has a couple catches. Ferguson with 3 catches.
8 total receivers, but Nakua has been the guy. 12 targets, 9 catches, 168. Now McVay wants Stafford to come over.
Going to hold on to that timeout. Remember, all they need is about 16 yards, and you got a shot at a game winner.
It's first down, Los Angeles at the 49-yard line.
Even Warriors out. They lost Kobe Bryant earlier. You're minus 2 starters. 62 seconds. Stafford, he's wondering where the play clock is. Well, it shows 25, which is what it should show. Maybe looking over to get the call.
Look at those eyes.
Yeah.
I mean, he is locked
Totally.
and ready. Just waiting for the green light. Here it comes.
They'll wind the clock. They'll wind the play clock. And here we go. Nakua back in. Nakua wide to the right. Nakua comes out of the slot. Stafford throws incomplete. Intended for Mumfield. Rookie's seeing a lot of action tonight. Witherspoon coverage, 2nd down 10.
Yeah, sitting back again in zone, trying to trust that front 4 to be able to get home. That time the offensive line, much better job of protecting Matthew Stafford. Remember, 16 yards is all they need.
Second and 10 to the outside goes the pass. Drop. Incomplete. Parkinson would have picked up about 5. 3rd and 10.
Second time we've seen Parkinson, who's really come on of late, unable to finish just off the fingertips. And you wonder where, even when we saw it last week against Detroit, even when you know they're going to go to Puka Nacua, they go to him and he delivers. You got to think 3rd and 10. The whole stadium, the whole country watching. How is 12 going to make a play here on 3rd and 10?
Go empty here. Stafford fires and nobody's home there. Looking for Nakua, well overthrown. 4th and 10.
Yeah, they had him bracketed from the inside out. They're going to actually bring the punter out and punt this football because of the field position. I mean, he's an aggressive head coach. You just have to. You can't take that chance. Give Drake Thomas a lot of credit. We knew Puka was going to get the ball. He took it away from the inside, forced that ball to go high.
So Shaheed is back. Ethan Evans to put it in the air. He had a silent first half. Now 4 punts here in the second half. High floater, fair catch called for. Shaheed makes it at the 15-yard line. 42 seconds and no timeouts.
Well, you keep waiting for, is this the drive? Is this going to be the drive? Is this the drive?
Yep.
Darnold gets another opportunity out of timeouts. Got to get that first completion and get some urgency to be able to get a little tempo and get into attack mode. At the same time, a guy that's thrown 6 interceptions against his defense wants to be aggressive but wants to be smart.
Yep.
6 interceptions going back to the last game and tonight. 2 tonight and 4 in the previous game in week 11.
Cooper Kupp sets up on the right side. Darnold throws over the middle, wide open. It's a nice game. to the 28-yard line. Charbonnet makes the catch so quickly, run to the line of scrimmage. Clock ticking down.
Gonna clock it here.
Yep, they do. 29 seconds. Ball will be at the 28-yard line, second down and 10. Oh, and there goes even Worry back to the locker room. Rookie having a great season, number 2 pick. Kind of a joker, kind of a Derwin James kind of guy. Can play all over the place. Second down, 10 from the 28. Extra pressure, look out. Darnold got him by the ankle. Poona Ford knocks him down there. Rams have a timeout. Well, they're just going to let it tick down, and I think both teams are looking for the 5th period.
How about that defensive line? The last 2 times he had the ball, we saw Kobe Turner come up with a sack, and this time Poona Ford comes up with a sack.
4 sacks tonight, and we go to overtime.
The end of the 4th quarter.
Why not? A highly anticipated game. Wasn't living really up to expectations when it was 30 to 16, to 14.
Well, after that pick by Turner, who dropped in coverage down by the goal line, I think I think most people thought that was a wrap.
Another interesting thing: 3 turnovers to Seattle, none for the Rams. This year, Seattle is -2 in points, despite an 11-3 record. A lot of it has to do with that. Brad Allen to the coin toss. Here comes Stafford. Here comes JSN.
All right, gentlemen. We will now play one overtime period of up to 10 minutes in which each team will have the opportunity to possess the ball unless on the first drive there's a defensive score or that team maintains possession of the ball for the entire 10 minutes. 4th quarter timing rules will be in effect. Each team will be given 2 timeouts, and all replay reviews will be initiated by the replay official. We all on the same page? All right, this is the same coin as before. This is heads and this is tails. I need your option. Call his heads. And it is tails. Okay? I got you. I'm going up. All right.
Well, Brad Allen saved me from having to give you what you just saw on the screen.
Very thorough.
Very.
Seattle wins the toss and defers, essentially. They're going to take the ball second.
In the last, 20 minutes? Who's back? Yeah. Here we go. Overtime. Kick. Nice. Look at this run back out past the 40 to the 50, but a flag is down. That's Ronnie Rivers, who gets all the way out to the 50, but the flag is all the way back at the 28-yard line. That would have been a 42-yard return, but it's coming back.
Holding. Receiving team number 56. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down, Los Angeles.
Sean Dolak. This is the 13th overtime game this season. 9 of the teams have chosen what the Seahawks have done to be the team to kick off. Terry, what'd you see on that?
So on the coin toss, Al, you heard Seattle say defer. You can't defer. They can either kick or receive or choose which goal to defend. They clearly wanted to kick and get the ball second.
Right. In other words, defer means kick these days.
Yeah.
So here we go. 8 seconds into the extra period. Nakua on the right side. Pass goes out to him, and he fights his way close to a first. Stop the yard shy. 2nd and 1.
Just so physical after the catch. 6'2". A lot of people don't realize 6'2", 216 pounds. And he's got the speed to be able to pull away, but that time uses physicality. There's the last 5 possessions. Those 3 straight 3-and-outs is what opened the door for Seattle to get back into this game.
Nakua is now caught 10 for 177 and a touchdown. 2nd and 1. Stafford comes back the other way, finds the open man there. That's a first down, caught by Blake Corum out of the backfield.
long, slow, developing play. Usually that's a levels concept where he's going to throw to his left. Instead, a great call here by Sean McVay, throwing all the way back with that arm strength of Matthew Stafford to get it to Blake Corum. Everybody's sinking back into coverage deep, especially towards number 12 there.
8-13. Guy who hasn't seen any action tonight is Tutu Atwell. He's wide left. Stafford under pressure, avoids the sack, fires downfield, and that's incomplete. That pass intended there for Ferguson. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, he broke free and just a bust in the coverage because the play took so long, and he was able to shake away from Leonard Williams. Watch 18. There's nobody at that second level of that defense. A linebacker didn't sink. Safety's not there. Once Stafford got away from Williams, he tried to get his feet set to make an accurate throw, but the ball just got away from him a bit.
Stafford on a 2nd and 10. Protection's good. Deep pass, flag is thrown. For the moment, nearly picked off but incomplete. But who is the penalty on? Julian Love with the coverage.
Illegal contact. Defense, number 13. 5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
It's a whole lot better than pass interference. It's on Ernest Jones. So 5-yard penalty.
Terry, watch this. Just a little touch that right there. That's the push. Terry says, "Yep, good call."
Just enough.
Just enough.
To the 47. 1st and 10. On the ground. Gain of maybe 4 to the 49 of Seattle. That's Corum carrying. Kaylee.
Guys, the Seattle secondary is more and more shorthanded. Nick Emanwari, the jack of all trades for that defense, he's being evaluated for a concussion right now. Reek Woolen, the rotational corner, he's questionable to return with a knee injury. And then, of course, you lost Kobe Bryant, the safety, earlier this game.
Yeah, you got Okada in there, and you got Nehemiah Pritchard, who's barely played tonight, who is in there. 2nd and 6. Stafford under pressure again. It is incomplete, and almost did he pick it off? Did he pick it off is the question. That's Ernest Jones, and they say it is an interception off the deflected pass. He got it. We'll look again. It's off Blake Corum's hands, and for the moment they can celebrate.
Again, this ball is thrown just a little bit high. Corum is not the biggest target at 5'8". Ball goes off of his hands, and the former Ram, Ernest Jones, who you know how fired up he is for this game, does he get his hands underneath and secure this ball?
Of an interception is under further review.
All right, the ball touches the ground. Does he have control of it? Terry says no.
Here's a great look for you, Terry, here. The point of that ball, let's see, does he protect it? Incomplete.
That's incomplete, guys.
That'll change. So the premature celebration as they ran down to the cameras in the corner in the end zone. They'll come back. That was a 2nd and 6, which would make it a 3rd and 6.
Just
then
not,
they turn this back over.
Not enough time to get those forearms and elbows together to protect the football from hitting the surface.
Officially incomplete is the call we are hearing. Brad Allen to make that official right now.
After reviewing the play, it is an incomplete pass.
So now you're back to a 3rd and 6.
Boy, let's not forget this play. If they end up converting and going down and scoring. I mean, what a quick reaction by Jones. Like I said, the former Ram, he would have loved nothing better to be able to make that play, but they give Stafford and his offense another shot here at 3rd and 6. And again, you look for 12. Do you use him as a decoy to open up someone else, or do you still just say, hey, we're going to go to him regardless? He's off to the left.
The back is Williams. You saw Nakua circled. Stafford looking that way, throwing, and it is caught. Flag is thrown, though. Another flag on the other side of the field.
Offside. Defense number 53 lined up in the neutral zone. The penalty is declined as a result of the play. It's first down, Los Angeles.
It's Boye Mafe lined up offside.
And they threw it to him regardless. We said, you know, are they going to go to him or use him as a decoy? They said, hey, we know you're going to try to stop it. In fact, they used Leonard Williams to drop to try to get into that throwing lane. You see him there. And you see Sean McVay running down. He does that quite a bit. Sometimes he does it. He goes right by him.
Yep. He's in great shape. Meanwhile, Nakua now on the sideline. When Nakua's on the sideline, that's a great sight for the defense, isn't it?
And
here he comes.
And a great tail that they're going to run the football when he's on the sideline.
Got one. Williams carrying for one. Rams tonight have run for 124 yards. Seahawks have run for 160. 2nd and 9.
How about the last 3 games for Puka Nakua? 7 for 167 and 2 against Arizona, 9 for 181 against Detroit, and now tonight 11 and 184 and 1 against this Seahawks defense so far.
Phenomenal, doing it all year long. Play fake. Stafford fires. Nakua again. Nakua will take it to the end zone. Puka Nakua, 41 yards. What a night. Stafford 457. Nakua is now 225 receiving yards.
And what a job by Matthew Stafford of waiting for the second window to be able to make this throw. Ernest Jones, who just came up with the interception, watch him drop into this lane on this crosser. He's got to wait for him to clear. Not now, but right there. Nobody throws that ball better than Matthew Stafford. That in-breaking dig route at about 18 yards. Waited till he cleared Jones and made it great throw out in front of him for that touchdown.
Mevis' extra point is good, which means the Seahawks get the ball. They need a touchdown, and then they can figure out whether they want to kick the extra point and extend the game or go for 2. Once again, 225. He's caught passes tonight, 54, 58, and this one 41.
Unbelievable job. You just knew it's a matter of time till he had a chance to make a difference. He's been doing it all along. Matthew Stafford, I showed you where 13 was. He was sitting in that spot because Stafford once again used his eyes to move Ernest Jones where he wanted him and then threw the ball away from him right to where it'd be in front of Nakua to be able to score that play. 133 yards after the catch tonight alone for Puka Nakua.
He came in second to Jackson Smith and Jigba in receiving yards. He's closed that gap. Smith Nakua with Smith and Jigba with 75 receiving yards tonight. Meanwhile, how about the offensive line? I mean, Stafford's had a lot of time to throw.
Yep.
On that series in particular.
You know the saying, big-time players make big plays in big games. We've seen that tonight with 12.
Looking for his 51st comeback of this sort. So the Seahawks will now have to go 65 yards to have a chance to tie the game or win the game. Darnold now 17 to 28. 2 picks, 1 touchdown. 221 yards. A tie would help the Rams more than the Seahawks because they have already won the first game, so you'd be 1-0-1. First things first. Walker. Can he get around the corner? Yeah, but only for 3 yards. Forbes makes the tackle there.
And this decent defense sensing an opportunity, obviously, here. Seattle going with their big unit. We haven't seen a lot of 13 from them, but 1 back, 3 tight ends. Tried to go heavy that time with Kenneth Walker. he actually bounced the other way, away from the tight ends to get some positive yards.
One of the advantages that going second, obviously, is everything is 4-down territory now. From the 39-yard line. Play action. Scramble. Throwing along the sideline. Smith-Njigba, did he make it inbounds? The officials look at each other, and he does. First down, 44-yard line.
Yeah, two things there. Great job. There was pressure again from Kobe Turner. Darnold gets away from it, and this is Jackson Smith-Njigba. Great footwork, great awareness, kind of slowed down, throttled down before he got close to the sideline and gave his quarterback a great target to be able to make that throw, so he didn't have to worry about his feet because he had already throttled down.
He now has 92 receiving yards from the 44-yard line. Darnold has to fling that one away. Avoiding the sack, chased by Poona Ford, 2nd and 10.
This defensive line really just having their way. Kobe Turner, Poona Ford. We've seen Jared Verse getting in there, Byron Young.
Well, one reason, of course, is that the number 1 left tackle, Charles Cross, has been out.
Not able to play tonight. Josh Jones, who hadn't played a ton of football this year, has had to step in. They've been using a tight end a lot to chip on that side.
Smith-Njigba coming this way. Cup in the slot the other way. The play clock is at 1. Darnold fires, and that's incomplete. Crowd wants a flag, and there is a flag that comes in late. Emmanuel Forbes with the coverage on the play, and they got him.
Pass interference, defense number 1. By rule, the ball is placed at the spot of the foul, automatic. First down.
It looked like he grabbed the arm there. Let's take a look at Forbes, who has that length. A lot of times he's able to work around the body and use those long arms, but here he hooks that right arm right there and turns him away from the ball. So good call by the official, right on top of it.
So Seahawks now 39-yard line. Out of a tight formation on the ground. Walker gets spilled. 2-3-yard pickup. Kobe Durant with that tackle. Second and 8.
Better be very careful. You know, I know they're running the ball, and you're just used to everybody, these quarterbacks throwing it and making plays. These great receivers, but we saw Kenneth Walker hit a crease and in a blink of an eye go about 40 yards for a touchdown earlier. So this Rams defensive line's got to be very careful with the linebackers being gap sound when they hand that ball to 9. It's not just about rushing the quarterback, Sam Darnold.
Walker with 100 rushing yards tonight and 64 receiving. Low snap. Darnold hangs in. Darnold under pressure. Throws along the sideline. No. Yes, it's called a catch. Cooper Kupp making the grab.
Wow.
Fabulous.
Great throw. Watch the right foot just toe tap. Gets the left one down, the right toe tap right there. And who better than Cooper Kupp to be able to make that throw, but Sam Darnold with an excellent throw.
To the 16, gain of 21. Darnold over the middle, settles for the underneath route by Charbonnet. Second down, short gain, Space makes the tackle, 2nd and 8. So Cooper Kupp with that fumble at the end of the first half. Comes back, makes a great play, sets him up with 4 minutes left in the overtime. Again, if they tie the game, the Rams get the ball back. The game keeps going to the 10-minute mark. 2nd down and 8. Play fake, rolls, looks, throws, caught inside the 10-yard line to Barner, the tight end.
Now, I really think Seattle, because of the loss in Week 11, and looking at the time, it would make a lot of sense to me. Instead of tying, first they got to score a touchdown, but it would not shock me at all if McDonald would decide to go for 2.
Yeah, he knows right now, if the game winds up in a tie, the Rams still would have the advantage because they had won the game, they had a win and a tie versus a loss and a tie for the Seahawks.
So he's telling Clint Kubiak, get that 2-point play ready would be my guess.
The best you ever called. 3rd down and 3. Inside the 5 goes Charbonnet for a 1st and goal. And that seems to be where we're headed right now. 1st and goal. Put it at the 4-yard line.
Great job there on 3rd and 3. The interior getting a good push. And how about the vision that time by Charbonnet? Looks like the Rams are going to call a timeout.
Charge timeout. Los Angeles, their first. It will be 30 seconds.
And each team has 2. So you get a timeout with 3:17 left in the 5th quarter. And Rams Seahawks winner controls their path to the NFC #1 seed. Seahawks still haven't clinched a playoff berth. 2 more games to go for them after tonight at Carolina and then at San Francisco. So this could be the last time this crowd sees this team at home.
I mean, we're at week 16. They're on a short week. They're playing to get to the top of the NFC West, maybe a #1 seed. And how fitting. We're in overtime, and it's coming down to this.
All you could ask for.
And these guys are leaving it out there.
1st and goal. Darnold, play fake, looks, throws, caught! Smith-Njigba. Now comes the drama.
What a drive by Sam Darnold. They're not hesitating. There's Clint Kubiak. Like we said, I guarantee you Mike McDonald said, hey, Clint, we get in here and score. Give us your best 2-point play.
Well, they scored on the wackiest 2-point conversion you'll ever see earlier. Where do they go here?
Well, the guy that just made that touchdown would be a great place to look. He's off to the right. They try to isolate him on his own. Rams going to call another timeout.
Yep, isolate him on Forbes. McVay wanted to see how they were going to line up. He did.
Here's the touchdown now. What a job by Darnold with a nice play fake and a good job of separating by JSN. No receptions in the first half. All 96 yards and a touchdown in the second half. But coming to defense a little bit at number 14. Yeah, this game was going sideways. The turnovers, he sure has responded here in this second half when he's had his chances.
Can he cap it off?
From a 3% chance to win.
Comes down to this. One play. One time. Getting a Smith-Njigba, bottom of the screen there. Charbonnet is the back. Cut moving back and forth. And now you got a
Seattle timeout.
Yeah, timeout by Seattle, of course.
It will be 30 seconds.
Okay.
It's almost like in basketball. Let's see what they're in. Call
Right.
a timeout. Get a feel.
McVay saw at first. Now McDonald sees what they line up as.
Now they've not moved the ball off that right hash. The play they want, they're not going to change. Maybe a different formation, personnel grouping, but this is, I mean, think about what's at stake here. We've talked about it all night, the #1 seed here. It comes down to, like you say, this one play.
This is it. This is it. Make no mistake. 2-point try. Here comes their best 2-point play. 3 receivers this time. They changed the formation. 3 to the right. Barner in motion. Darnold throws, caught for the 2 points. Eric Saubert. They throw to a guy who hadn't made a catch or was targeted all night long. What a game. That's one for the ages right there.
Unbelievable. Just take it all in. What a scene. One of the best venues in the NFL. Comes down to a 2-point play, and when we show you how close this was to being tipped at the line of scrimmage, you're not going to believe it.
So the Seattle Seahawks have the #1 seed in their hands. Win out, they're #1.
Now let's look at how this play was developed. Remember, you talked about how the 3 receivers to the right, the tight end leaks. Look how close Kobe Turner came to knocking that ball down. But I'll tell you, Solbert deserves a lot of credit for being patient before he delays and comes out. Just wait. Got completely lost by coverage. Did a nice job of looking it off, looking towards that 3 receiver side, and almost like a check down. Came back to the backside, found the answer to hit that 2-point conversion, and good for him.
Calf injury on IR until last week. Signs a 1-year extension the other day. He's already paid the biggest dividend. Don't call his name all night long. There he is, 38-37. Can hoist up a lot of guys tonight.
And he knows how close he came to knocking that ball, getting his hand on it. 2 of the best right there.
No question. Neither has his 40th birthday yet, so